Come, see all that America has to offer. For a free guide to traveling in America, call Travel for Tomorrow. 1-800-755-TOUR.
Wheel 14, KXIV, Salt Lake City, Utah.
Live from the San Diego Sports Arena, Wheel 14 presents IHL Professional Hockey. Tonight, the San Diego Gulls host the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. Tonight's game is brought to you by Hardee's, Zions Bank, and Coca-Cola.
Welcome to the Sports Arena in San Diego, California. We're live as the Salt Lake Golden Eagles prepare to take on the San Diego Gulls. And Randy Bucyk will have a lot of fun. The Eagles have won 6 games in a row and have a good 11-point lead over San Diego in the division standings.
Well, the Eagles are probably playing their best hockey of the season so far right now, Mike. Bobby Francis has them fired up before every game. They're coming out and they're playing every game with a purpose. So this is just another part of their whole game plan to get a good, strong position of second place and try and catch Peoria for the divisional race.
Eagles have not had a television broadcast during their 1984-85 season, inaugural year in the IHL, their first televised game since the team has joined the IHL. But let's pause for the national anthem.
More people are coming and going in Honda Accords than any other car in the U.S. Now, for an unprecedented limited time, your Utah Honda dealers are going to make Honda Accord even more pleasurable with a special 8.9% financing offer. Honda Accord. Your Utah Honda dealers: Ken Garth, Peterson, Daly, Willie, Academy, Heritage, with service as good as the Hondas they sell.
Wheel 14 KXIV, Hot 94.9. The V-Crew and Osco Drug present the Donruss Salt Lake Sports Card Extravaganza, February 16th. 70 dealers' tables will have super selection and bargains.
I think it's just a well-rounded card show. I'm very impressed with it.
Meet Eric Anthony. Get his autograph 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can redeem Planters Relief product proof of purchase for $1 off an autograph picture. The Donruss Salt Lake Sports Card Extravaganza at the Utah State Fair Park, 1000 West North Temple. Admission $3 at the door.
I want a home that's right for me, a place to raise my family.
We can't put much money down, but we've been looking around.
Moving with us, find a home that's right for you. Moving with us, moving with us.
The U.S. Pro Ski Tour, Saturday.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Arena in San Diego, California. We're just about ready for hockey. The Salt Lake Golden Eagles and the San Diego Gulls. The Eagles in second place in the West Division. The comfortable 11-point lead over San Diego in the division standings. Here we go. Live from the Sports Arena, and immediately the Golden Eagles, Terry Clark, able to rumble down the right side into the San Diego zone, shoots it to the right of the goal, and the netminder, Elaine Chevrier, able to play it to the right side, and the Eagles hold it in. Terry Clark shoots it right back in front, and playing the puck is Rob McInnes for San Diego, and he scoops it between the two Salt Lake defenders, and all the way down into center. Just underway here from San Diego, the Eagles and the San Diego Gulls. And back in his own side for San Diego is Dean Martin. He takes a big hit from Terry Clark. They fight for it to the right of the goal and try and freeze it and succeed. 35 seconds gone, first period. A scoreless hockey game, and Randy Bucyk, former member of the Montreal Canadiens Stanley Cup Championship team, past 4 years for the Golden Eagles. Randy, welcome to the broadcast, and immediately great forechecking by the Golden Eagles.
Thanks, Mike. That's part of the reason for the success of the Golden Eagles in this little bit of a winning streak they have going is their quick start that they're able to apply to the opposition. They've scored the first goal in 5 of their last six games, and a big part of the reason why they've jumped out into an early lead and they've been able to sustain that lead and to go on and win the games.
Mark Bureau fifth place in the IHL scoring parade, draws up for Salt Lake, but immediately the Gulls able to wind it to center, and Kevin Melrose gains possession. Here's Melrose being checked by Mike Sullivan, clears it to the San Diego blue line, and Dave Coral winds to center. Here's Tim Sweeney in his second year with Salt Lake. For Mark Bureau, a shot. That's blocked off of the defense, and the Gulls take over. And a gentleman that played in Phoenix last year, Robbie Nichols, plays the center. And a chance for San Diego to Young, a shot. That deflects wide. Scott Young, the youngster on defense for San Diego. Eagles Martin Samard, fourth year with Salt Lake, able to play it for Tim Sweeney, who is able to push it to center, and Kevin Grant gains possession into the San Diego zone, being hounded by Young, and he backhands on edge. The Eagles change on the fly. New line out for Salt Lake as San Diego control the puck and wind to center. Here's Darrell Olson for Salt Lake, able to poke it right back into the San Diego zone, and Scott Young gains possession. Eagles fierce in a forecheck, but here comes 33-year-old Ron Duguay into center. He's a 12-year veteran of the NHL, sidestepped, however, by Brian Deasley. And Deasley, who made an artful play last night on a Salt Lake scoring play, believe it for Darrell Olson. Early on, first period from San Diego, no scorer, as Paul Cruz able to work the center. Into the goal zone, stops against the defenseman Bannister, but the former Golden Eagle, Charlie Simmer, on left wing. Now San Diego control the puck into the Salt Lake zone. Controlling the play is Darcy Norton, and he rims it right back of the goal. Warren Sharple in net tonight for Salt Lake, plays under the boards, but not out. Al Tour holds it in. Behind the net for Ron Duguay, trying to center one, but Brian Deasley parades the slot, able to poke it into center. Glad you've joined us here tonight, the Eagles and San Diego. No score here in the first period, 2:20 gone. Here's Paul Cruz for Salt Lake, able to break the center into the San Diego zone. Right wing pass in front for the Eagles. Chernomaz in front to Cruz, but it's blocked off at the last moment. And the Gulls able to play it free into center, and Larry Floyd able to break it up on left wing, and Bannister sails it right back into the Eagles zone. Early on, first period, it's a very fast-paced opening stanza, and the Golden Eagles, Rick Lessard, plays the center for the 20-year-old Corey Lyons for Lessard at center, and he chips it on edge back of the San Diego goal. Here's Darren Lowe on the right side, able to play it free in the center, and the Gulls, McInnes slams it in. Sharples makes the save, and he sets it up on left wing for C.J. Young. Young able to play it for Scott McCready. At center ice for the captain, Rich Chernomaz, but McInnes steals for San Diego. Eagles played in, however, offside. 3:10 gone, first period, and Randy Bucyk, great action to start off here in this game.
Well, very fast-paced action, Mike. It's good to see. I'm a little bit surprised at how things are going so far. We have to take into effect that this is going to be the 6th game in 9 days for the San Diego Gulls. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to be able to adapt and whether fatigue is going to be a factor for them.
Eagles have their longest winning streak of the year, 6 games, and they've outscored the opposition 33-13 during that stretch. They've done an outstanding job of late and have had some outstanding offensive performances. And one of the players, of course, that is the team leader in offense, Mark Bureau for Salt Lake. He leads the line with Tim Sweeney on the left and Martin Samard in his 4th year for the Eagles on the right side. And immediately the Gulls play at the center, but Samard breaks it up and leads for Bureau, and he pokes it right back into the goal zone, and Dean Morton has possession. But on the far side, a Salt Lake player shaken up, and Brian Patapi, over 13 years as a professional trainer, out to attend I believe, to Martin Simard. Let's see over there. Is it...
I think that's Mark Bureau.
Mark Bureau shaking up on the far side.
Well, hopefully nothing serious has happened there. He's such a big part of the Salt Lake team.
Mark Bureau taking a look at him as Brian Patafi, and we'll come back in just a moment on the Salt Lake Golden Eagles broadcast here tonight.
Ron Sheese, attorney at law, has been helping people in need of debt relief take the pressure off since 1963, specializing in Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcy, the opportunity to make a fresh start. Call 262-0246 to hear what the options are for your financial future. There's no charge for your first visit, and if you choose to file bankruptcy, all attorney's fees can be worked out on terms. Call 262-0246 now and hear how you can get a fresh start.
Mike Barrack alongside Randy Bucyk here in San Diego, and Mark Bureau is okay after being attended to by Brian Patafi. Mark Bureau holds the Eagles record for most points in a game. He had 8 one night against the Indianapolis Ice a couple of years ago. He also shares a record for most goals in a game with 5. He's okay, but is replaced on a new line for the Golden Eagles. It's Tim Sweeney with Martin Simard. Brian Deasley will play the left wing side at this particular point. But Rob McInnes plays for San Diego. His brother Al plays for Calgary. At the right point, Kevin Grant has shot and cleared aside by Chevry, and he himself plays it on the board. Eagles Grant holds it in. His shot blocked off in front. Now a chance for Simard, trying to work it free to the right wing point. Grant after it for Simard, but blocked off by San Diego, and the goals played on left wing. Scoreless game. We played 4 minutes into the opening period. Glad you joined us here tonight. Puck is loose to the right side. Goals player Sullivan is able to play it to the Salt Lake blue line, and now back to the left of the goal where Melrose plays for Salt Lake. Kevin Melrose, who played his college hockey at Harvard, on the right side for Kevin Grant. That's the defensive pairing for Salt Lake at this point. Eagles trying to work it free, but San Diego's Duguay on the boards tries to dig it free. Duguay able to work the center, hacked down by Todd Harkin, but the play continues as the referee Dave Cassidy watches impassively. Now the puck is loose at the Salt Lake blue line in this scoreless game here live from San Diego. Marco Bucyk able to play it for Paul Cruz at the blue line into the San Diego zone. Right side pass in front for Kerry Clark, but the pass is broken up. And then on left wing, Darcy Norton plays for the goal. Cuts in the slot, works against Cruz, holds on and shovels it right back behind the goal for the former Golden Eagle, Charlie Simmer. Cuts in front, trying to center one. Young can't pull the trigger. The Eagles play it to center. We're going to have a penalty, I believe, against Salt Lake at this point. A delayed penalty as Chevrolet skates to the bench. And with 4:57 gone into the first period, Randy Bucyk, our first penalty, and it's going to go against the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. Well, it looks like referee Cassidy is going to whistle down an interference penalty against Marco Bucyk. Marco Bucyk was a little bit upset at the call, and if you look at his statistics, he's not known for a person to be aggressive and be in the penalty box. It's kind of an unknown territory. But nonetheless, the Eagles will have to play with 4 men, and the San Diego Gulls will have 5. So the Eagles will be shorthanded for 2 minutes. The Gulls have the most power play goals. They have 78 in the IHL, and they've had an outstanding power play unit. Bucyk for interference, time of the penalty, 4:57, and the Eagles the 1-man short. Of course, on a power play, the Eagles will be a man short for 2 minutes unless the Gulls score a goal. Here's the lead pass at center for former Eagles Steve Martinson, a shot, but it's offside. It appeared that it was offside. He shot it in and behind Sharples, and it appears it's going to be a power play goal and a 1-0 San Diego lead. No, they're going to wave it down. We didn't hear the whistle. Sharples heard it, and as a result, he just let it go into the goal, but the San Diego players thought it was in. Well, as soon as the linesman blew his whistle, Steve Martinson was already in his windup and really couldn't control himself and stop himself from shooting. But Warren Sharples did hear the whistle. He sort of relaxed and stood up, and that's why the puck was able to dribble in the net. And as a result, the face-off will be back into the San Diego zone. Sometimes, Randy, the goaltenders will let up if they feel the play is definitely going to be offside. Well, usually a player really tries to control himself and stop from shooting the puck on the goaltender if a whistle is blown, because it only causes problems somewhere down the line. Well, it's not a power play goal. We're scoreless here. 20 seconds gone into the penalty, and the goal still working on a man advantage. Here is Sullivan in his center. The rookie smacks it right back into the Salt Lake zone. Blocked off at the Salt Lake blue line, and Larry Floyd has to spin back. Up the middle, but stolen by Rich Turnamaz into the San Diego zone, but Sullivan takes it away. The Eagles have 13 shorthanded goals, and and have had an outstanding record when shorthanded. Here is Salt Lake's Lazard, sweeps it for Young, and he winds it all the way to center, and actually, I believe, up into the crowd. A stoppage of play with 5:44 gone into the opening period. A scoreless game, and we'll take a break right here.
What's that cool going down? What's that chill rushing through it? What's that takes your breath away? That's the taste of real refreshment. That's the real Diet Coke. That's the taste of real refreshment. Just for the taste of Diet Coke.
Back to action, scoreless game here in San Diego. The Eagles and the Gulls. Another minute to work on the power play for San Diego. Here's the centering pass for Darcy Norton. He twirls around. Back to the right wing point. A chance for Taylor Hall. 6-8 Sharples. Big rebound in front, but it's blacked off. And the Golden Eagles, Kevin Melrose on left wing, able to charge out of there and gingerly plays it into the goal zone.
Great play by Kevin Melrose and the whole penalty-killing unit for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles to get that puck out of trouble in front of Warren Sharples.
Here's a chance for San Diego's Darcy Norton, caught up by the Golden Eagles defenseman Kevin Melrose. They fight for it to the left of the goal, and finally it squirts free for Kevin Grant. He's able to play it off the board into center, and Taylor Hall, a 7th-year professional for San Diego, for Charlie Simmer. Stolen, however, by Mark Bureau, and a goal shoots. He scores! Mark Bureau stole it for the Golden Eagles and scores a shorthanded goal. His leading 7th shorthanded goal and a 1-0 Salt Lake lead.
Well, funny thing about this is, Mike, you have a guy in the International League who leads in shorthanded goals, and you're also playing against a team who has given up the most shorthanded goals in this IHL. Here's a look at the replay now. Charlie Simmer just coughs the puck up. Great anticipation by Mark Bureau. He walks in between the two defenders, and he throws it up top glove. Watching Mark Bureau in practice, that's kind of a forte of his. That's where he's going to look to shoot all the time on a goaltender, is up in the top glove area.
And the Golden Eagles have the lead at 1-0. Bureau, 35th of the year, unassisted at 640. And Randy, the Golden Eagles Bureau, a penalty-killing extraordinaire, as we talked about, his 7th shorthanded goal. The Eagles 14th as a team, so the Eagles have been outstanding in that department as we have a little bit of a delay to the left of the goal. Perhaps...
I think somebody probably lost their contact, Mike. Usually something like that happens. Everybody gathers around and tries to find the little contact on the ice.
Don't forget Thursday night, tomorrow evening at the Salt Palace, the Eagles against Kansas City, 7 p.m. If you're involved in the military, dependents will be allowed to come to the game, no charge. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., the Eagles against Kansas City. And immediately the puck is cleared right back into the Salt Lake zone. The Eagles are still shorthanded, although they have the 1-0 lead. And again, they clear it down the ice. So another good job for Salt Lake shorthanded.
But again, Mike, they scored the first goal of this game, so let's see if they can carry on with the way their winning ways as far as that goes.
The Eagles have killed it off. They've also scored a goal. They have the lead 1-0. They beat San Diego 5-3 here last night. Here is Bannister for San Diego. Leaves it to center, and Scott McCready deflects it up into the stands. A stoppage of play with 7:08 gone into the opening period. 1-0 Salt Lake. And of course, Randy, here, this building, San Diego built in 1966 in the San Diego Sports Arena. The original cost, $6.5 million. And you look at the new arena in Salt Lake City, some $66 million. Of course, that figure could change a little bit, but over a 20-year period, quite a change as far as the costs are concerned.
Well, it's funny the way things go, Mike. It costs a lot more to build, but sometimes these older arenas are more fun to play in. They seem to be more confined, and the crowd is right in on top of the action. They feel closer to the action. They get a better feel for the game.
Voice of Randy Bucyk alongside. I'm Mike Barrack. 12:52 left in the first. The Eagles, on a Mark Bureau shorthanded goal, have the lead at 1-0. And Darrell Olsen able to play it on left wing and into the San Diego zone. Todd Harkins steaming in. His shot, Chevrier catches it and holds on a good shot to the right of the San Diego goaltender, Elaine Chevrier. Randy, we want to touch on the scratches tonight for the Golden Eagles. Richard Zemlak, Andrew McKim, and Darren Banks. Of course, Wayne Colley, the goaltender, is on loan to Cincinnati of the East Coast Hockey League. The Eagles tonight going with 10 forwards and 6 defensemen.
Here's Todd Harkins going down the far. He spots the far side. He takes a shot. Elaine Chevrier had no kind of traffic in front of him, so he really had no kind of problem making that save.
10 forwards, 6 defensemen.
Well, something uncharacteristic of Bobby Francis. He likes to go with an extra forward and 5 defensemen. He feels that his defensemen are more involved in the game when they're out more often.
Here's the puck loose, back of the goal. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead here from the San Diego Sports Arena. Lead pass on the right side. Darren Lowe into the Eagles zone. Tries to center one, but blocked off in the slot. And Brian Deasley on right wing lets it go for his own defenseman, Todd Harkins. The rookie for Salt Lake, able to play it to the blue line. Steve Martinson for San Diego shoots it free, but Darrell Olsen able to play to the boards. However, stolen by Darren Lowe to the left of the goal. Lowe now tied up. They fight for it over there. And finally, Deasley for the Golden Eagles breaks out of there. Chips it for Cruz at center. He's knocked down. And then off the Salt Lake blue line, Darrell Olsen controls. 8 minutes gone into the opening period. Olsen throws it deep into the San Diego zone. The Eagles change up offensively. And the new line, Bureau, Swinney, and Samard. And the Gulls take over on left wing, and McInnes just shoots it right back behind the goal. Kevin Melrose plays the puck. He played for a championship team at Harvard University. On the left wing side, Mark Bureau able to break the center and then just whacks it into the stands and the stoppage plays. Boy, he let go a bullet up there, and fans had to scatter up to the right of Elaine Chevrier.
Well, Mark Bureau wanted to make a dump deep into the Gulls zone and make it tough for Elaine Chevrier to handle and make any kind of a play to break out his team. So the easiest thing to do is put it high up in a glass. It takes funny bounces, and it's harder for the goalie to handle.
Warren Sharples in 23 games, 9-9-1 at 3.81 goals against. The 9th round Flames pick in 1986. Last year he played for the University of Michigan. He led the nation in games played in minutes. An outstanding young prospect for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles, and he's been outstanding of late, winning 3 of his last 4 games, giving up just 7 goals. There's the puck loose on the left wing side as the Gulls try and work it to the Salt Lake blue line, and Kevin Melrose able to dump to center. Fans cheering because the San Diego Chicken is in attendance here tonight. Puck is loose at the blue line, and Robbie Nichols plays it to center. Into the Salt Lake zone is Rod Dahlman. His shot in a pad save Sharples. The rebound skips to the top of the circle, and the Gulls play it. Here's Nichols now for San Diego. Former Phoenix Roadrunner. Nichols cuts in the slot, shoots, 6-8, Sharples. And the rebound taken on left wing, and Melrose gently plays it for Mark Bureau. Stolen by Nichols in front. Shoots, Sharples is sliding, save, rebound in front for Sullivan. And he can't get a stick on it. And the Eagles break out on left wing. Jim Swinney can't play the zone. Sullivan steals, ridden off by Melrose, and the puck is loose to the left of the goal. San Diego putting on all kinds of pressure. The Eagles have no other choice but to clear it into the San Diego territory.
The Eagles have to be careful. They're making a couple of mistakes by not clearing the puck out of their own zone when they get a chance to, Mike.
Finally, they do clear it to center, but the Gulls immediately whip it right back in. Rick Lassard able to play it all the boards all the way to center and deep into the Gulls territory. 10:20 left in the first. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead on a Mark Bureau shorthanded goal. And the Gulls play it at their own defense, and Bannister able to slam it right back into the Eagles territory, but right to Scott McCready, who pinballs it to center. Puck bounces on edge. Duguay shoots, he scores! Ron Duguay, but I believe the goal should be waved off because of an offside.
Well, an offside, of course, is, Mike, when the puck goes outside the blue line, the whole team has to come outside, clear the zone before you can go back in and attack again. The puck went outside the blue line, but Ron Duguay was trapped inside. It bounced back into him. He was all by himself. You see how the puck went outside the blue line? Ron Duguay was obviously offside. He has to come out and clear the zone before he can touch the puck again. So there will be no goal.
Have some new hockey fans, and we've already seen some of the complicated rules in this game as Duguay was clearly trapped in ahead of the play on it offside. Puck is loose now on the right wing side, and Duguay again into the Eagles zone. Smacked by Rick Lassard to the right of Warren Sharple. Zimmer into forecheck. Rich Chertomaz just slams him against the boards. They still push and shove, and finally the puck is loose on left wing. Well, a lot of fierce body contact to the right of the Eagles goal. Rich Chertomaz now and across the line. Stops, drops it in front for Corey Lyons. Back in front of the goal. McCready shoots, and he just shot it wide. Going for the glove side, and the Gulls, Al Tour, even with the Hartford Whalers in the NHL, plays but not out. McCready holds it in. Scott McCready, left point for Rick Lassard. His shot caught by Chevrier. He holds on. Good scoring chance for Rick Lassard as he let one fly from the left wing point. He scored his 3rd goal of the year last night.
Things are really starting to get physical out here, Mike.
Here we go with an altercation on the far side, Charlie Simmer and Rich Chernomaz had all started on the far wing, but now Kerry Clark right in the midst of it with a host of Gulls and Eagles right in front of Elaine Chevrier. Randy Bucyk. Well, we have a little altercation. We're going to take a break here. 1-0 Salt Lake. The Eagles in the lead, and we'll come right back in just a moment.
So many people have enjoyed good times and good food at Talk of the Town restaurant. We invite you to continue to enjoy in 1991 with our early bird special of the day, Sunday through Thursday. Complete dinner for just $9.50 between 4 and 7 p.m. Talk of the Town features homemade pasta and delicately seasoned entrees to delight the most discriminating taste. Enjoy live piano entertainment Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings. Talk of the Town restaurant, 723 East, 7200 South. Call for reservations. Open 7 days a week. Sunday brunch, 10 to 3.
Mike Barrett alongside Randy Bucyk here in San Diego. We'll have penalties here, but Randy, it all started in the corner to the right of Sharples when Charlie Simmer and Rich Chernomaz battled, and then it worked in, the puck was worked into the San Diego zone, and then more development in front of Chevrier.
Well, things like that happen, Mike, especially now. This is the 11th of 14 meetings between those two teams. When you play a team for so many times in a row, a lot of animosity builds up between them, and things carry on from games past, and, you know, a couple of high hits here and there just sparks the whole fire again.
Rich Chernomaz and Charlie Simmer. Chernomaz for high sticking, Simmer for roughing. Time of the penalty, 10:33. So the teams will skate with 5 apiece, just without the services of those two players for the next couple of minutes. 1-0 Eagles here in the first period. And Darrell Olson able to sky it and poke it right back into the goal zone. Chevrier played last year with the Chicago Blackhawks, plays with Melrose Field. His shot caroms wide, and the Gulls able to wind to center, and Mark Bureau back checks and then turns and slams it right back in. Bureau scored the lone goal here in the opening period. San Diego play it for Darren Lowe on the right side. Into center ice for Larry Floyd. He played in Phoenix last year. Skated off at the last moment of the Eagles. Marco Siki lays it on left wing for Darrell Olson. Gulls fiercely in a forecheck. Eagles play it, but Steve Martinson able to wind it back at the goal for Larry Floyd. Surveys the traffic, trying to center one, but broken up by Mark Bureau, and a 2-on-1 break for Salt Lake. Bureau with Kerry Clark. Bureau in on goal. He stops. He shoots. Pass save made by the goaltender, Elaine Chevrier.
Well, a great save by Elaine Chevrier. That time Mark Bureau was looking between his legs to try and find a little opening there.
Eagles Grant plays it. So Bureau has scored a goal tonight and is robbed by Chevrier at a chance into the goal zone. Here's Chevrier way out to play it. He holds on with the Golden Eagles streaking in to the San Diego zone. Chevrier has a lot of National Hockey League experience this year. 16 games with a goal, 6-9 at 4.26 goals against. But 231 career NHL games with New Jersey, Winnipeg, Chicago, Pittsburgh, and Detroit as Chevrier stops Mark Bureau.
Great save by Chevrier. As he went down into a butterfly, that's what we call a butterfly, when the goaltender spreads his legs out on both sides. Mark Bureau is looking for the hole between his legs, but got it up just a little bit too high.
Mark Bureau likes to shoot high, as we saw on the shorthanded goal here in the first period.
Well, that's something that a player practices and practices and practices, and that's really Mark Bureau's bread and butter, is his high over the shoulder, or just, you know, between the legs, Mike.
8:06 left in the first. The Eagles leading 1-0, looking for their 7th consecutive win. Eagles, of course, to share an IHL record for 15 straight wins. Here's the puck loose back of the goal. Eagles in a forecheck into the San Diego zone. Paul Cruz trying to dig it free. They fight for it to the right of the goal. Cruz after it to Duguay. Plays it for San Diego to the right of the goal. Into forecheck is Cruz, also Deasley. And they still battle behind the goal and cleared by Young on the left wing side. Grant takes over. Plays it free into the San Diego zone for Brian Deasley. Being cradled down by Duguay, trying to center one. But Dave Porrell plays it on the left wing side. Todd Harkins, the rookie for Salt Lake. Also Cruz is a rookie for the Golden Eagles. But San Diego breaks free into the Salt Lake zone. On the left wing side, Taylor Hall trying to play it free, but Rick Lessard on left wing. Then Lessard hits Darcy Norton. The fans here in San Diego cheering on that play as the San Diego Gulls wind it right back into Eagles territory. 7 minutes left in the first. Glad you've joined us here tonight as the Eagles, Rick Lessard plays it up into the stands. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead.
Things are really, I can sense a lot of physical play coming on here, Mike, and the referee Cassidy is really letting a lot go by. He wants them to play hockey. He wants the flow of the game to keep going here.
Face-off will be to the right of Warren Sharples. The Eagles with the 1-0 advantage. As Randy mentioned, the season series, the Eagles leading 6-4 and have won 4 of 6 here in San Diego.
Well, I spoke a little bit too soon here now. It appears that one of the Eagles players, Kevin Grant, was a little bit upset maybe with a missed call that he thought should have been a penalty. Said something to Cassidy, and Cassidy in turn said, "I've had enough of that. I don't want to listen to you anymore." And he's going to put him in a penalty box for 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike.
Dave Cassidy works as a linesman in this league as well. He works quite often in the Midwest in the IHL. The linesman Joe Maskowitz and Chris Kozin here tonight as Rick Lazard and Mark Bureau discussing things. The penalty grant for unsportsmanlike conduct at 12:56. So San Diego will have their second power play, but of course the Eagles scored on the first Gulls man advantage chance.
Well, that's a big key here. The Eagles have a lot of great penalty killers, and the Gulls power play right now, Mike, is fizzling. At the start and the beginning of the year, that was their big advantage that they had over other teams. They were scoring at a high rate, but in the last, I believe, 17 chances, they've only scored 1 goal. So that's something that they're going to have to pick up in order to be successful here tonight.
So Rick Lazard talking things over with the referee Dave Cassidy. 7:04 left in the first. 1-0 in favor of the Eagles. The Gulls with the man advantage. Bureau to drop against Sullivan to the right of the goal. Sullivan, youngster for San Diego out of Boston University. Here is Larry Floyd. He's the trigger man on the point of the power play for Mike Sullivan, the rookie. Shoots, Sharples gets a piece. And then Osiki plays back of the goal. He played on a college championship, the University of Wisconsin. Now the puck is loose on the left wing side. Eagles play it for Tim Sweeney. He can't play the zone. Sullivan steals, but his shot blocked off by Mark Bureau, and the Gulls have to go back. 6:40 left in the first. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead. The puck is cleared into center, and the whole play is whistled down here in the opening period. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead here in San Diego, California. Hope you're enjoying it, and we'll come back in just a moment.
Hey, Abe, are you going to R.C. Willey's for the big President's Day sale?
You mean the one they're having to celebrate our birthday? I'm halfway there already.
Through Monday, you'll find incredible savings store-wide. Look for R.C. Willey's giant insert in your paper. And with your new purchase, receive a free Marie Callender cherry pie. Free.
Why don't we ever get invited to these things?
R.C. Willey's is now open at 23rd South, 3rd West in Salt Lake.
Well, we're back here in San Diego, the famous San Diego chicken with scribblings on the glass to the delight of the fans here in San Diego. He is a former goaltender. Ted Giannoulis is the famous chicken. He's from Canada. As we have a little bit of a delay here, as Warren Sharples being attended to by Brian Patafi. Brian has worked in the American Hockey League, the old Eastern Hockey League, as he attends to Warren Sharples. And
Warren Sharples, who wears contact, that appears to be the problem. It looks like it's just slipped out, and Brian Patafi, jack of all trades, is just trying to help him get it in the right position.
Some strange things here in this game with the contact lenses. Of course, Kevin Melrose lost his earlier in this game. Of course, we have some different aspects of the game of hockey, and we're going to take a look at icing right now. Of course, the rules of the game of hockey are new to some of the fans watching the broadcast here tonight. As the Golden Eagles have the lead at 1-0, as the Warren Sharples appears to have his mask back on and skates towards that Salt Lake goal crease. Warren Sharples against the Gulls has played 3 games. He's 1-1, but he handed San Diego their first ever loss in the IHL. The Eagles won 4-3 October 6th. Sharples was the winning goaltender that night in San Diego's first ever setback. Here's the puck loose at center as we're back to action. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead. And the puck dribbles towards the Salt Lake goal. Rick Lazard plays, trying to wind it, but stolen by Darcy Norton. Shoots, Sharples gets a piece, and he falls on top. A fabulous save by the Eagles netminder.
The Eagles are starting to create a lot of problems for themselves. They have control of the puck there, Mike, and they just fail to clear the zone. Rick Lazard banned on the puck right here. He has the full control. Darcy Norton knocks it out of the air. He comes out in front, and Warren Sharples tries to poke check him, misses it, but regains his composure, gets back out in front, and is able to pounce on the puck. But Ron Duguay was right there. If that puck was loose, and he was trying to pull it out of him, it would have been a sure goal.
Ron Duguay knows how to score goals. Duguay 12 years in the National Hockey League, 274 red lights.
Well, he's like I said before, Mike, he's probably the most well-rounded player that San Diego has. He's a goal scorer and a great checker, too.
And here is Duguay, who, of course, does not wear the helmet against the Salt Lake's Mark Bureau. The Eagles win the draw cleanly. Bureau chops it, but it's stolen by Simmer behind the net. Charlie Simmer, 36 years of age for Darcy Norton on this power play. The goal, second chance of the night. Simmer trying to center one, but Kevin Melrose picks an opening and winds it off the shoulder of the linesman Maskowitz. As the puck is loose, it's Floyd, slams it right back in. Under 6 minutes left in the first, the Eagles with a 1-0 lead, and immediately Marco Bucyk drills it down in the Gulls territory.
Well, that's what the Eagles have to do. When they get that chance, they have to make sure that they get the puck out of the zone all the way down the ice as best they can.
Larry Floyd slams it, and it's deflected up into the stands to stop the play. 5:40 left in the first, 1-0 Eagles, 36 seconds left in the penalty as the fans scatter for that loose puck. And, of course, the Golden Eagles Booster Club, part of the attendance here tonight in San Diego, some 40 members strong, as the fans here in San Diego really taken to their hockey team. The Gulls have averaged about 5,500 per game, so they've been very pleased with their attendance figures.
Well, they weren't really sure exactly what to expect coming into the league this year, but things have worked out really well for them.
Well, it's a power play for another 30 seconds. It's whipped down back behind the Salt Lake goal. Darren Lowe trying to dig it free. Samard after it also, and they fight for it ferociously to the right of Warren Sharples, and they finally freeze it against the boards with 5:25 left in the opening period. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead, and of course, Randy, they'll tie it up. If they freeze it on the boards for 2 or 3 seconds, they'll tie it up for a face-off, and that's what's going to take place right now.
Well, when the puck's frozen up on the boards, the longer that the referee lets it go on and the poking and jabbing, it just creates some more problems, probably penalties and maybe even major penalties. So it's in the referee's best interest to keep control of the game, to blow those down a little bit quicker, especially at the start of the game.
Warren Sharples with a new mask this season. Here is the Gulls forward, Larry Floyd, a shot. He shoots it over top of the net. Floyd possesses one of the hardest shots in this league. As the Gulls wheel and deal, Floyd again tries to work it free, but it's blocked off by his former teammate, Rich Termaz. And then on left wing, Darrell Olsen slams it down into the goal zone. The Eagles kill off another one here in San Diego.
Well, the Gulls, their power play woes continue here, Mike. I don't know when they're going to turn it around. They just have to get back to the basics, get it to the middle, and shoot it at the net.
Great penalty killing by the Golden Eagles, and here they come again. Harkins on right wing, unable to break free, and McInnes plays for San Diego. Rick Lessard at his own blue line control. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead, and Lessard bounces it right back into the Gulls territory. Brian Deasley out of the University of Michigan plays it right back to the side of the goal. Here's Harkins for Salt Lake, tries to center one, but the Gulls able to work it free into the neutral zone. Charlie Simmer in against Kevin Melrose, whirling around, tries to kick it free, but right onto the stick of Brian Deasley, who leads for Cruz in the center. Gulls wind it right back in as we're here in San Diego, California. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead. Marco Bucyk on left wing, able to play at the center, and then Charlie Simmer circles back for San Diego. Here's Simmer, who played parts of 3 seasons with Salt Lake. Checked on the play, then Bannister for San Diego leaves it free. For his own defense, Ron Duguay into the neutral zone. Here's Duguay smartly in the center. Being hacked by Salt Lake's Bucyk, winds it right back into the Salt Lake zone, and the Eagles play at the center. It's a 1-0 Salt Lake lead. Gulls try and work it for the forward Darcy Norton in a forecheck, but Bureau plays but not out. Al Toursteele shoots 6-8 by Sharples, and then Salt Lake clear the zone and all the way down into San Diego territory. They ruled no icing, as the Gulls could have played the puck. No icing if they feel it could have been stopped on the way into the defensive territory, and the defenseman Darren Bannister, a Calgary native, able to play it up the right side. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead. Very entertaining first period here from San Diego. Bannister whips it right back against the boards. It squirts right to Tim Sweeney. However, Sullivan steals for San Diego, but then McCready takes it off his stick. Here's Scott McCready in his first year with Salt Lake. Back to Mark Bureau in his 4th season to the right wing side, and chance for Salt Lake Samar, but the shot is deflected up into the stands and a stoppage of play. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead as the play going from blue line to blue line.
There's a lot of good action here right now, Mike. A really good flow. There's been not very many whistles, and it allows both teams to skate, to get some plays going, and get some good scoring opportunities on each goalie.
With the win tonight, the Eagles can be one of only 4 teams in this league to have an above record over 500. Only Kalamazoo, Peoria, and Indianapolis have that distinction. Tim Sweeney for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles, an outstanding player tonight for the Golden Eagles. having been sent down by the Calgary Flames. Sweeney tonight for Salt Lake in game number 8. He has 11 points in his first 7. Sweeney, a very important player to this team, spent all of last year in Salt Lake. Eagles, as Warren Sharples plays it, as we're back to action. Kevin Grant plays for Salt Lake and scoops it high in the air into center. Gulls take over on the left wing side. It's punched for Martinson into the Salt Lake zone. Martinson with low shoots it just wide. He went for the short side. Here is Dean Morton trying to center one, but Rich Chernamaz able to angle the center. Chernamaz flies into the San Diego territory. Stick handles, he's in, he shoots! And Chevrier, I believe, got a piece, and it ricochets wide as the net has been dislodged. Rich Chernamaz with a couple of artful moves into the Gulls territory.
Well, great plays by Rich Chernamaz, and Mike, I'll tell you, Rich Chernamaz has one of the hardest shots in this league. As he comes in, he just makes a quick move around Larry Floyd, who is not normally a defenseman, so it's tougher for Larry Floyd to defend against a forward coming down on him because he's not used to it. Chernamaz cuts in the middle, gets a great scoring opportunity in the net, and then I believe it was Tim Sweeney driving to the net, touched the side of the net and pulled it off his moorings, and that's why the whistle went.
Rich Chernamaz, 159 career goals in his Salt Lake uniform. That's number 4 all-time, and his next goal was tie him with Scott McLeod, who had 160. That's regular season and playoffs. A tremendous career for Rich Chernamaz, and of course, Randy, you for most of the time his center ice.
Well, I've had a great pleasure playing with Rich, and really he makes the game easy because he knows so much about it and where to be at the right time.
Here is Charlie Simmer on the left wing side for San Diego, trying to dig it free, and they finally freeze it with 2:17 left in the first period. Todd Harkins and Charlie Simmer. Marco Sicchi also battling along the boards as we have the San Diego Chicken here in San Diego. The fans always enjoy him. He, of course, is from San Diego, Ted Giannoulis, the original San Diego Chicken, so he's quite often seen here in San Diego. Daryl Olson took that last shot, and we have a little story about Daryl Olson from the game last night. He actually put a shot, Randy, into his own net in the game last night, the second period against the San Diego Gulls.
Well, it was really an unfortunate thing. He took a little bit of hazing from his teammates all day today, but he felt bad about it. Fortunately, it really didn't hurt the outcome of the game. Just something that happens over the course of a game.
Here's a chance for Salt Lake, but it's blocked off of the defense, and Coral plays on left wing. Another member of the Phoenix Roadrunners from last season. Ron Duguay plays, an original New York Rangers first-round pick in 1977. Duguay checked off with the blue line. He appears to be shaken up as the puck is loose at the San Diego blue line. He gets up slowly. Eagles take over on the right side. Bucyk tries to push it right back behind the goal and then races after it himself. Bucyk, the rookie, out of the University of Wisconsin, but San Diego control. 1-0 Salt Lake lead. 1:40 left in the first period. On the left wing side, Charlie Simmer centers. Sharples gets a piece, and the net has been dislodged into the Salt Lake territory. It's Simmer working down the left wing side, but the perils of not wearing a helmet for Ron Duguay.
Well, I don't think that's a problem. He was a questionable starter here tonight, Mike. He has a very bad groin, and as he went down, he went on all fours, and he really grabbed his upper part of his leg. So it appears that he may have aggravated again during that play. As we watch him come up the ice, Paul Cruz is pursuing him here, and he gets his stick around the outside of him, and there it is right there. Duguay stretches his leg out right there and probably just aggravated again. He's on all fours and obviously in a lot of pain.
Of course, he banged his head in a game here against Salt Lake earlier this season. Rick Lessard crashed against the boards, gave him a big hit, and for a while there it appeared that he might be out for quite some time. He came back the next game, but he's definitely taking a gamble. Here's a shot by Darren Bannister going over top of the net and cleared right back to the side of the goal. Loose in front, Sharples able to hug the post and hold on. Of course, Ron Duguay can play without a helmet because he was playing prior to a rule, I believe it was 1980, in which they banned players without helmets, but players that were under contract prior to that time are allowed to play without the helmet.
Exactly, and some people will say, well, why wouldn't he just put it on? Everybody wears a helmet, sticks are up high all the time. Well, it's just a matter of comfort and the way he feels out there. He feels it's restricting to him.
Here's a chance for San Diego. Loose in front. The quick backhand by Nichols, steered by Sharples. He holds on, but now more pushing and shoving in front of the Salt Lake goal. In the middle of it, Robbie Nichols. Martin Samard is right there. Rick Lessard having a hold of a San Diego player, Rod Doman. He's a pretty strong customer as the linesman trying to separate, but you know, the tempers will fly, especially when you play back-to-back games. The Eagles winning last night 5-3.
Well, a lot of that carries on over, as you said, Mike, from the previous night before, but it's also coupled with how many times these two teams play together. Scott McCready, who's been in and out of this Eagles lineup, is really trying to make a good impression on Bobby Francis, and he feels that he's going to have to play tough to stay in this lineup. Robbie Nichols just sort of danced by him a little bit there. Maybe it made him look bad, and he doesn't want Bobby Francis to see any part of that, so he wants him to know that, hey, I know I made a mistake. I'm coming back. Don't do it again. There's a big push here.
Well, the players were separated on the far side. Robbie Nichols and Scott McCready want to go. They're in a headlock right along the boards. Scott McCready, he's missed the last 6 games for Salt Lake, and big Robbie Nichols scoring off against the boards. McCready gets his helmet off, then throws a couple of left hands. They're just so tight over there, they can't get any punches through. Now McCready's trying to throw some. Over the top, Nichols throws him down to the delight of the San Diego fans and the linesmen trying to separate. We'll show you how these penalties and how these fights sometimes begin during our intermission, but they squared off pretty heavily on the far side as the players were skating towards that penalty box.
Well, things happen. There was a little bit of talking here and there, back and forth. Robbie Nichols is a real disturber for this team. He knows what his job is. He's trying to fire his guys up, get them going, and that's the way he feels he should do it. Scott McCready, on the other hand, for the Golden Eagles, as I said before, he wants to make an impression out there too. So all this came about with only 1 minute and 23 left in this period. Sometimes people say, well, why do they get penalties when they know they're going to sit in the penalty box? But this game of hockey is a very aggressive game. There's a lot of body checking, and things like that happen. A lot of animosity is built up.
Well, with Robbie Nichols, he's the guy that led the IHL in penalty minutes with the Kalamazoo Wings with a total of 406 in 1985-86. Scott McCready in his first year with the Golden Eagles. He is a 23-year-old out of Calgary, Alberta. Played junior hockey with the Medicine Hat Tigers of the Western Hockey League. And the Salt Lake Golden Eagles, Scott McCready involved with Robbie Nichols. Of course, Randy, in this particular case, we'll see if there's a power play advantage here, but quite often when there are fighting penalties, the teams will end up just skating 5 skaters apiece just without the services of the 2 players involved when you have a 5-minute fighting penalty.
That's if the referee is going to whistle even penalties for both sides. Usually there's an instigating penalty. Whoever instigated or started the fight is going to draw an additional 2 minutes, and their team will be shorthanded because of the 5-minute penalties. Each team getting 5 minutes each. They're going to lose it. They'll still play at 5 minutes each. Only if there is extra minutes tacked on to another team will they play shorthanded for that amount of time.
Eagles have the lead at 1-0. Dave Cassidy trying to sort things out of the far side. The Eagles with the lead, as mentioned, 1-0. Salt Lake will be home tomorrow night against Kansas City, 7 p.m. at the Salt Palace. Military Dependence Night and Family Night will be February 20th. The Eagles against the Muskegon Lumberjack. Up to 10 members of your family can get into the game for just $20. It's the famous San Diego Chicken delighting the crowd here tonight. The only goal, Mark Bureau's 35th of the year, 6:40 the time, a shorthanded tally, and a 1-0 lead. Randy, sometimes with secondary altercations, it takes a while for the officials to sort things out. They want to make sure they get the correct call the first time to keep things sorted out.
Well, what the referee will do, he'll consult with his linesman to make sure he's got the story straight, that what he saw is actually what happened. And then after they collaborate and get everything straightened out, he'll go and call the penalties, and then from there the teams will either be at full strength or shorthanded.
And the only players allowed to speak to the referee, Rich Turnamaz and Al Tour, the respective captains. All the other players must be at their players' bench area. The captains and sometimes the alternate captains are allowed to talk to the referees. That's why only Turnamaz and Tour are stationed by Dave Cassidy.
Well, that helps the referee out too. You know, he doesn't want everybody running over there yelling in his ear, say, I saw this, I saw that, you said this, and that. He just wants 2 people. He's going to straighten it all out between the 2 of them. In turn, they can go back to their bench, tell their coach exactly what the referee said, and get it all straightened out from there.
9 minutes assessed against McCready. We'll touch on the penalties in just a moment here in San Diego. Mike O'Connell, the head coach of the San Diego Gulls, trying to sort things out for his team. And we're waiting on the announcements for the San Diego penalties. As of right now, they don't have any minor penalties assessed on the scoreboard. Bobby Francis, the head coach of the Golden Eagles, looks on and very vocal behind the players. We'll have a feature on Bob Francis during our second intermission, but he is very vocal, Randy, at the Salt Lake Players bench.
Well, he's really a players type of coach. He demands respect from the players, and in return, he just wants you to work hard. If you can give your all 110% every single night, that's all he wants. But he's concerned about inconsistent players and things like that, and he's really a good motivator, gets the guys working hard, and you can see that now the team is really on a roll.
Well, we have a lot of penalties here, all at 18:37 of this first period. Rod Dahlman, 2 minutes for roughing for San Diego. Robbie Nichols, 5 for fighting. Scott McCready, Salt Lake, 5 for fighting, and a 2-minute minor for roughing. Also, McCready picked up an unsportsmanlike conduct minor. The other penalties, Salt Lake's Rick Lazard, a roughing minor. Rod Dahlman picks up an extra 10. Robbie Nichols, 2 for instigating and 2 for roughing. So with all those penalties, the teams are at even strength. The Eagles clear it right back into the San Diego zone, and the netminder himself, Chevrier, sets it up back there. So the Eagles with a 1-0 lead. Lots of penalties here towards the end of the first period. And Kevin Melrose spins back of his goal for Salt Lake with under a minute to go in the period. On left wing for the 20-year-old, Corey Lyons plays to center. Gulls wind it right back in, and Salt Lake's Grant able to play it for Bureau. On the boards, but stolen by Martinson. His shot blocked off, and the Eagles play it to center. Under a minute to go, as mentioned in the period. The Gulls slam it right back in, and Samard plays on the right side. Up the middle for the rookie, C.J. Young. Into the San Diego zone. Young across for Mark Bureau. Back on the give and go to Young. He scores! And he crashes into the end boards while scoring the goal. Great setup from Bureau, and the Golden Eagles have a 2-0 lead.
Well, this is a very key goal for the Golden Eagles, Mike. They're probably going to go into the dressing room after the first period with a 2-goal lead now, and that's a nice cushion to have. It was a great two-way passing play as Mark Bureau crosses a blue line here. He knows that C.J. Young is going to be breaking towards the net. He cuts in the middle, and he just feathers a pass over there. He knows it's just like just putting it into an area. He knows that C.J. Young is going to be there. He's not sure when. It's just a great timing kind of play for him to be able to lay the puck in there, and you know, just by judging how fast C.J. Young is going, how fast he's got to pass that puck, and it was a great passing play.
C.J. Young, the 22-year-old from Woburn, Massachusetts, gives Salt Lake a 2-0 lead. He played at Harvard. On the left wing side, McInnes a shot. That's blocked for the defense. Now McInnes another chance. That bounces wide. Here's Young, who scored that goal. Able to lead out for Salt Lake. Up the middle for Rich Turnamaz. Angles in against the defense, in on goal. Tries to swivel past the San Diego defenseman over there, and as soon as Martinson winds to center, that's it. The buzzer sounds, signaling the end of the first period. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead.
Well, a great period by the Golden Eagles there. They've really established themselves. They came out, they started playing physical. They had a lot of great scoring chances, and they buried two of their chances to go up 2-0 here in the first period. They're going to go in now to the dressing room, take a little bit of a breather, sit down and relax for probably about 15 minutes while the Zamboni's out, and just talk about what kind of strategy they're going to have for the next period.
Well, the Eagles have the lead at 2-0, and we're going to go down to... We're going to go down to Mike Runge in just a moment towards the near side, towards the runway area. Of course, the Eagles with the lead of 2-0 on goals by Mark Bureau and C.J. Young. Bob Francis and Jamie Hislop, the two coaches for the Golden Eagles, is towards that dressing room area. As the Golden Eagles, C.J. Young scored on that second goal.
Well, Chevrier was really down and out there. He came sliding across to try and cover as much net as he could, but by doing that, he left the whole top open half, and C.J. Young was just able to put it over top of him.
Okay, we're going to go downstairs to Mike Runge of the Salt Lake Golden Eagles.
Mike Runge almost in the locker room with Coach Bob Francis. Mark Bureau had a great shorthanded goal there early in the game.
Yeah, he really did, Mike. He read the play well. Tim Sweeney applied a lot of pressure on their D, and they went D to D pass, and Mark was in a good lane, he intercepted and put it home, and he made a heck of a play in C.J. Young's goal. C.J. went to the net, Mark put it right in his tape.
They just don't give up. They keep coming at you, those Salt Lake Golden Eagles. You've got them moving well in this particular game. And the Gulls are throwing everything at you, including the San Diego Chicken.
Yeah, they're working hard, but we're playing a patient game right now. We're trying to eliminate the quality scoring chances, and we've happened to capitalize in a couple of ours, so we'll see how the second period goes.
Thanks, Coach. Bobby Francis, and we'll be back up to you, Mike Barrick.
Well, Randy Bucyk, the Golden Eagles with a 2-0 lead. A great first period here.
Well, it was very exciting for the fans to watch what was going on there. They had a little bit of everything. They had some penalties and some scoring opportunities.
Okay, we'll come right back. The Eagles up 2-0 here in San Diego, California. We'll be right back.
The 49th Street Galleria presents the Safari Club Birthday Party. For only $6 per person, your child can have a fantastic party with your choice of roller skating, 18 holes of miniature golf, batting at Casey's, or bowling in the Bowling Green. Your party package also includes 6 tokens for each guest, your choice of hot dogs or pizza, along with soft drinks and ice cream. And the Galleria Entertainers back, a barrel of fun, all for only $6 per person. For reservations, call the Galleria now, 263-2987. Some activities subject to availability and some restrictions may apply.
Enjoy an evening at Partners, Ogden, or Holiday. Famous for truly unique atmosphere and really good food. Partners specialize in fresh seafood and tender-aged beef, featuring our own homemade recipes. We serve dollar-saving early bird specials 5 to 6:30 p.m. every Monday through Thursday. Choose from 6 of our most popular entrees, complete dinners at lunchtime prices. Enjoy the best for less at Partners, 337 31st Street in Ogden and 4668 South Holiday Boulevard, Holiday.
Another collection agency demanding more money.
But we just don't have it.
And the bills keep piling up. Immediate relief is available. At the law firm of Rulon T. Burton and Associates, we can file a Chapter 13 within hours to stop lawsuits, garnishments, and foreclosures. Stop creditor phone calls and relieve the pressure today. Call now for a free consultation to learn more. Call 278-0404, Rulon T. Burton and Associates, 278-0404.
Nothing brings your face to life like fashion eyewear from Knight & Optical.
It's the right move. It's the right choice. Provo City, the move is going on.
Salt Lake Golden Eagles enjoying a 2-0 lead after the first period. We're having a lot of fun here at the San Diego Sports Arena in San Diego, California. But even though we're having a lot of fun here, the world goes on. And let's go back to the studio now for news from the Persian Gulf.
CNN Headline News. I'm Lynn Russell. U.S. military officials say if they had known civilians were in the building, they wouldn't have bombed it. But Iraq calls it a well-planned crime that killed 500 innocent civilians. The United States denies that building in Baghdad was only a bomb shelter, insisting it was a heavily fortified command and control center. It says the civilians inside it may have been planted there by Saddam Hussein to provoke international outrage. Crews were still pulling charred bodies from the shelter 14 hours after the pre-dawn attack. The White House says it is not and will not target civilians.
The loss of civilian lives in time of war is a truly tragic consequence. It saddens everyone to know that innocent people may have died in the course of military conflict. America treats human life as our most precious value. That is why even during this military conflict, in which the lives of our servicemen and women are at risk, we will not target civilian facilities. We will continue to hit only military targets. The bunker that was attacked last night was a military target.
So far, there has been no sign of flexibility on the United States. They are getting sort of mad with the use of force, with their DV-52 and with their Tomahawk missiles, and they seem to be enjoying it.
The bombing is putting Allied commanders on the defensive. They say they regret the loss of civilian life, but they can prove the building was indeed being used for military purposes. Rick Salinger reports.
To the Allied coalition, this was not known as a civilian air raid shelter.
I'm here to tell you that it was a military bunker. It was a command and control facility. It's one of many that has been used by the Iraqi government throughout this operation.
He said it had been an air raid shelter in 1985, but it was upgraded to a hardened shelter for command and control. It was targeted before the war. The facility became more active 2 to 3 weeks ago. Radio transmissions had been monitored from here with military operations in Kuwait. Military sources here say it was contrary to Saddam Hussein's policy to allow civilians at military sites. So there is the thought, if not the suggestion, that perhaps they were permitted inside knowing full well the shelter might be hit. Rick Sellinger, CNN, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Times I can't forget the hero who's my friend. I know that it's all forever. The real thing, talking about the real thing. Oh, you know it when you see it, know it when you feel it, know it when you shake it. Coca-Cola classic, can't beat the real thing.
Many banks serve businesses with similar commercial loans, similar leasing programs, plus a myriad of other similar financial services. So when it comes to business banking, how do you choose a bank that'll really deliver? May we suggest you look to the one who stands a little taller, a little stronger.
I did. Of course I did.
With Hardee's Family Value Menu, Mom and Dad can feed themselves and their 4 kids for under $10. Dad can feed himself and his son's basketball team for under $10. Mom can feed herself for 3 kids, a neighbor's kid, and a kid she doesn't even know for under $10. Hardee's Family Value Menu is designed for families who want a lot of delicious food for not a lot of money. Like hamburgers for 59 cents, cheeseburgers for 69 cents, and hot dogs for 79 cents. Hardee's Family Value Menu, the return of good old family values.
Hey, you gonna eat that last fry?
Kiesel Sales would like to help you with your gift-giving ideas. Choose from our large selection of Zenith televisions, video recorders, and camcorders. Kiesel Sales also has the finest selection of home appliances featuring Maytag, Amana, Hotpoint, and Genair. Kiesel Sales can help make your purchase easier with 90-day interest-free financing, layaway, and free next-day delivery. Kiesel Sales, 3109 Washington Boulevard, Ogden.
The new International Luggage Center offers the lowest prices in the West on suitcases, garment bags, carry-ons, and attachés, featuring the finest in Samsonite luggage, where you'll find the luggage professionals and a factory-authorized repair center. The new International Luggage at 328 South State, Salt Lake.
The Salt Lake Golden Eagles here in San Diego, California have a lead of 2-0. Randy Bucyk alongside. And Randy, great first period. The Eagles on a Mark Bureau shorthanded goal. And how about the C.J. Young goal late in the period? Mark Bureau play in the first period to give Salt Lake a 1-0 lead, and then Young scoring the second goal.
Well, 2 great scoring plays by the Golden Eagles, both with Mark Bureau figuring in on the first shorthanded goal. It was great anticipation by him. Tim Sweeney forced their defenseman to cough, or it was Charlie Simmer, actually not normally a defenseman, but who was back on the play, forced him to cough the puck over to Mark Bureau. He stepped in, and when you give him a chance like that, he's going to usually put it away.
Fantastic to see. Last night, the Eagles winning 5-3. They've won 6 consecutive games, and it seems game in and game out, they find a way to score goals and pick up victories.
Well, it's very key. I think the key to their success right now with their streak that they're on right now is the quick jump that they come out, and they gain a lead early, and they're playing very well with the lead.
Well, Randy, of course, the rules of hockey always confusing to fans. We had a chance to go out to the practice at Bountiful Ice Skating Rink in Bountiful, Utah, and we take a look with Rich Turnamaz, the captain of the Golden Eagles, describing some key penalties.
One of the most common minor penalties in the game is hooking. That's when the player skates up the ice with a puck and gets hooked behind from the opponent. Okay, another common penalty is when the opponent player comes into the guy with a puck and gets a stick up above the guy's shoulders, up around the facial area. That's known as high sticking. Another frequently called penalty by the referees is when a player comes in from behind, gets the stick up, and cross-checks them above the back or around the shoulders. That penalty is known as cross-checking. Another stick infraction called by the referees is slashing. That's when the player comes up from behind and just whacks the fella in the pants or the knee pads with a stick. So the penalties that we just showed you often result in wide majors are always started for the reason of having your stick too high while a guy hits them, and consequently the guy gets a little upset, they turn around, and that's how majors usually start.
Randy, an example of the fighting penalties. We saw that in the first period with Scott McCready and Robbie Nichols of San Diego, but sometimes the boys will drop the gloves and go, and I think Kerry Clark and Darren Banks really enjoyed dropping the gloves and going at it when it was for fun only.
Well, they did have a lot of fun making that little piece, but of course, Mike, when they're out on the ice, tempers start to flare, and they're playing for real out there. They're playing for keeps, and you know, things like that happen. It's a big game of a lot of intimidation has a big part of this game, and physical awareness is you know, can win hockey games. So they want a team wants to make themselves be present and accounted for at all times.
Of course, we saw the major penalties, but we also saw some examples of the minor penalties, Randy. And when you have the minor penalties, you're shorthanded for 2 minutes, unless, as the Eagles did, scored a shorthanded goal. And, of course, if the offensive team scores, that is it on the minor penalty.
Well, as soon as the offensive team scores, the penalty becomes nullified, and both teams go back to even strength. It's a very fine line. The referee is the one who's eventually calls the penalties down. The problem is, you know, it's only one person out there calling all the action, and there's the pace is so quick and so fast, he obviously can't see everything. So sometimes the crowd reacts when they think a penalty should have been called, but it's up to the referee's discretion, and sometimes he just doesn't see it.
Of course, the penalty is such a key aspect of this game of hockey. The Eagles have a 2-0 lead here in San Diego. The Eagles looking for their 7th consecutive win, and we'll take a break here in San Diego. The Eagles leading 2-0 here from the Sports Arena in San Diego, California.
I want a home that's right for me, a place to raise my family.
We can't put much money down, but we've been looking around.
Moving with her, find a home that's right for you. Moving with her, moving with her.
Go west off I-15 on 33rd South through 700 West for once-in-a-lifetime savings on the largest selection of custom vans and GMC trucks west of the Mississippi. Salt Lake Valley GMC is still under construction, but our giant inventory is already here, and we're passing the high-volume savings on to you now. Choose from over 300 custom vans, 100 new GMC trucks, and 100 used vehicles. We're not far from wherever you are. Get off I-15 on 33rd South and head west to 700 West at Salt Lake Valley GMC now.
Bankruptcy. It can ruin your life.
I wasn't making enough money to pay my bills. Getting further behind and my creditors were on me. Almost filed bankruptcy. But I heard it would stay on my credit record for 10 years. It would be tough to buy things on credit.
Consumer Credit Counseling Service, the best alternative to bankruptcy.
They solve debt problems by working with your creditors to avoid bankruptcy.
Call Consumer Credit Counseling Service today.
I'm glad I did.
A savage murder.
You know who killed him?
And Charles Bronson's out to make the punishment fit the crime.
Looks like we got a live one here.
A sinister blood feud.
We gotta make it look like an accident.
Leaves Bronson caught in the middle of a massacre.
But it's crazy, this idea of murdering people to save them.
For the first time on television, Charles Bronson, Messenger of Death. Wheel 14's got it Tuesday at 7.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Mike Barrack here in San Diego, California. The Salt Lake Golden Eagles having a lead of 2-0 over the San Diego Gulls. Randy Bucyk, we took a look at some of the common penalties in this game of hockey, but there is some strategy to this game, and of course, one of those pieces of strategy is when you work out of your own end.
Well, of course, the game happens so fast, it's you really have to play it by ear sometimes, but we do practice a lot of things. Here's a breakout here, a quick breakout, moving the puck up, a little bit of interference, going down in on the goalie, and getting a good scoring opportunity and putting it past the goalie there.
Of course, that is the example of what we call a breakout. It's when the defenseman will actually watch the wing, throw it up to your forward, and then he does all the work from there.
It's just a matter of reading the play. When a person has a puck, there's so many things that he has to worry about. He has to worry about who's attacking on him, whereabouts he is on the ice, where his players are, and where he's going to move the puck. He really has to think about it before he gets the puck, so he has a good idea of what he wants to do with it when he gets it.
Of course, as we've discussed, it's not really haphazard as far as the passing is concerned. Well, the Eagles have a 2-0 lead here in San Diego. Mark Bureau and C.J. Young have scored the goals. And Randy, not only have the Eagles performed on the ice, it's just been a fantastic season. Salt Lake in sole possession of second place. But when you come to a Salt Lake Golden Eagles hockey game, there's always more than the shots and the saves, as we saw last Friday night at the Salt Palace, the famous and the infamous, I should say, Bikini Night.
Well, of course, the fans are just have a lot of fun with this event, especially every year. It's always a great turnout for people to come out and watch. It's just a part of a little bit of a show for the fans. Hockey is a small part of it, but it's just a thing where everybody comes out and has a good time, and it's been very entertaining.
Over 9,000 fans at the Salt Palace Friday night. The Eagles have had the Bikini Night contest the last 6 seasons, and they have won all 4 since they've entered the IHL. We took a look at the end as far as the winners are concerned, but it's always a fun night.
Well, you know, that bikini contest is so popular and has worked so well that other teams around the league have adopted that into their own schedule, and they're having a lot of fun with it too.
Well, it's always fun at the Salt Palace. The Golden Eagles have a 2-0 lead at the end of 20 minutes of play. The Eagles, with a tremendous shorthanded goal by Mark Bureau and C.J. Young at the tail end of the period, also scored here in San Diego. The Gulls actually have been playing hockey here for a long, long time, Randy. They played in the old Western Hockey League. The Eagles and the Gulls battled. Then there was a long absence of hockey here in San Diego, and now the rivalry is back between the Eagles and the Gulls. 5 of the games this year have been decided by just a single goal.
Well, it's really important that San Diego has come into this league because it has added a lot to this Western Division through rivalries and more games played, and it gives the fans back home a good association with the players from such a close city.
Well, the Eagles scored 2 goals in the first period, and Mark Bureau scored 1 of them.
He caught that pass there that Charlie Simmer tried to move over to his partner Taylor Hall there, intercepted it, walked in, and put it high over the glove hand of Lane Chevrier.
Mark Bureau's scoring his 35th of the year, his league-leading 7th shorthanded goal. Then the Eagles, late in the period, scored again.
Well, it was another great play by Mark Bureau. He's got the puck, and like I said before, he's thinking about so many things at this point. Where his players are, who's attacking on him, and how fast he has to pass that puck over to his right winger for him to get it in the clear, and C.J. Young just timed it perfectly and put it over flopping Elaine Chevrier to put the Eagles up 2-0.
And just a tremendous period for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles hockey team, a 2-0 lead. Mark Bureau scoring, and of course C.J. Young also for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. In just a few moments, we'll have our second period of action, and it should be another interesting one, especially with Salt Lake scoring the first 2 goals in this game.
Well, things are getting physical right now. A little bit of frustration may have set in on the Gulls' part, but they're not out of this game yet. It may be 2-0, but they've worked hard through the first period, and 1 goal can change the whole face of this game tonight.
Well, hope you're enjoying the action. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead, and we'll come back in just a moment. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead over the Gulls here in
PAW Computers, 845 South Main in Bountiful, specialize in contemporary computer classes. Expert instructors use state-of-the-art techniques to teach you how to use your computer. You see the instructor's entries and compare with your own hands-on terminal. Train to use Macintosh or IBM-compatible computers. Register now for convenient beginning, intermediate, or advanced classes. For word processing, spreadsheets, even desktop publishing. Call 295-2299 now and get a free T-shirt and mousepad with your registration. PAW Computers in Bountiful.
The 49th Street Galleria presents the Safari Club Birthday Party. For only $6 per person, your child can have a fantastic party with your choice of roller skating, 18 holes of miniature golf, batting at Casey's, or bowling in the Bowling Green. Your party package also includes 6 tokens for each guest, your choice of hot dogs or pizza, along with soft drinks and ice cream. And the Galleria Entertainers Back, a barrel of fun, all for only $6 per person. For reservations, call the Galleria now, 263-2987. Some activities subject to availability and some restrictions may apply.
Welcome back, everyone. Mike Barrack alongside Randy Bucyk here in San Diego, California. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead over the San Diego Gulls. Randy, it's just so fun to be here in San Diego. The fans in Salt Lake getting a chance to watch the broadcast, of course, listening as well on the Golden Eagles radio network. But it's real fun to be here in San Diego as the Eagles take on the Gulls.
Well, it's really a great exposure for the team to be able to show a game back home to all the fans. And it gives the fans a chance to really track their team. Sometimes it's hard to follow it on the radio because you're not able to see exactly what's going on, but with the TV there live and just able to sit back and enjoy all the action.
I want to thank the people from Channel 14 in Salt Lake and also KMGR and KLO radio stations in Salt Lake City and Ogden, Utah. Here we go here in the second period. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead, and C.J. Young smacks it over top of the goal. Rich Turnamaz trying to dig it free. However, the Gulls on left wing, Steve Martinson, able to wind it on the left wing side and all the way to center. Here's Kerry Clark. Last year played with the Phoenix Roadrunners and been playing in his first season with Salt Lake on the left wing side for Kevin Melrose, and he slides it to the Gulls defense and all the way to center where Kevin Grant able to play it deep into the Gulls territory, and Elaine Chevrier able to set it up back of the goal. Kerry Clark fiercely in a forecheck, and then it's wound up the right side for San Diego. Ahead at center ice is Larry Floyd. Into the Salt Lake zone, the leading point scorer for the Gulls shoots one, and it's blocked off at the defense by Mark Bucyk. Then Sharples himself trying to fiddle with it. Back of the goal, Clark after it, tries to dig it free, and finally Sweeney comes up with the puck. The Golden Eagles have a lead of 2-0, and Tim Sweeney, who had 97 points last year for Salt Lake, in for Rich Turnamaz, but it's offside at the defense. And of course, if a player precedes the puck into the offensive zone, it's ruled an offside.
Well, sometimes you'll see somebody drag their leg or something, Mike, to prevent that offside from being called. Half of your body can be over the blue line, but just as long as there's a certain part of it that's left behind before that puck goes over, the referees will wave off the offside.
Glad you joined us here from the San Diego Sports Arena. The Eagles on a goal by Mark Bureau and a tally by C.J. Young have the lead at 2-0. Mike Sullivan against Mark Bureau, and this is a matchup for Mike O'Connell. I talked to him this morning, and he said that he likes to have Sullivan on Mark Bureau. He's a very good defensive player, Sullivan, and of course O'Connell is aware of Mark Bureau's talents offensively. Here's Tim Sweeney for Salt Lake, tries to jam it free, ridden off the puck by the defenseman Scott Young. Now play back of the goal, Eagles into forecheck. They still trying to jam it free, and finally the Gulls come up with the puck. Into the center ice area is the rookie Sullivan with the veteran Simmer. Sullivan moving in, tries to center one right through the goal crease, but Simmer couldn't get a stick on it. Here's Charlie Simmer, who played with the Los Angeles Kings, twice scored over 50 goals. To the left wing side, Young now for San Diego. His shot blocked off by Sweeney, and Mark Bureau able to barrel the center. We have a penalty coming up against San Diego, a delayed penalty. Samard on goal, poked away by Chevry, and as soon as Young for San Diego touches the puck, Dave Cassidy will call a minor penalty against San Diego.
It looks like he's going to call a hooking penalty, Mike. I think it was Tim Sweeney who got called down there from behind. Here's as Mark Bureau just dumps it. Almost, this is like an alley-oop in a basketball, another timing play to Martin Samard, almost exactly like what he did with C.J. Young earlier in the first period for his goal. Great play there, just stopped by Elaine Chevrier.
It's a hooking minor against Scott Young. 1:57 the time, the penalty, and a 2-0 Salt Lake lead. A chance to work in the power play. The Eagles rank number 3 in power play percentage, 61 for 255, just under 24% with the man advantage, and they're operating at nearly 40% over their last 6 hockey games. So the Eagles will try and increase their lead. Rich Turnamaz with C.J. Young and Corey Lyons up front. Lyons, who wears number 7 for the Eagles, scored a whopping 26 power play goals last year for the Lethbridge Hurricanes of the Western Hockey League. And here is Lyons in the center. In across the line for Rich Turnamaz. Whirls to make a play to the right wing point for Olsen. His shot, 6 save made by Chevry, and then Duguay on right wing, able to play it down into the Salt Lake zone.
Well, a good play by Ron Duguay to get it all the way down the ice, and a great save by Elaine Chevrier. The Eagles should try and get some traffic in front of Chevrier to prevent his sight of that shot on net.
Here's the Turnamaz now for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. Into the San Diego zone, poke checked and cleared away by the San Diego Gulls. Of course, no icing, Randy, when a team is shorthanded, that San Diego can just dump it into the Eagles' territory.
Well, that's their game plan. Get it out of their end at any cost. Do whatever they can to get it all the way down the ice.
Here's Daryl Olson, smashes it right back into the goal zone as the Eagles try and increase the lead. Here is Mark Bureau to the right of the San Diego net. Back to the point for Lessard. Swivels to the near side for Tim Sweeney. Back to the point for Rick Lessard as the Eagles wheel and deal on the power play. Olsen at the point, fakes the shot. Hands for Tim Sweeney. His pass across is blocked off by the defenseman Morton for San Diego. And then he himself paws it down and swings it deep into the Salt Lake zone. So the Gulls doing a good job shorthanded.
Well, they're keeping a very tight box, Mike. If you see the way they set up in their own zone, it's almost like a little box. And they're keeping the passing of the Eagles on the outside of that box. Not letting them have a good scoring opportunity.
Eagles play it again into the San Diego zone. However, immediately McInnes winds it deep into the Golden Eagle zone, and Sharples will set it up for his own defense. So Sharples plays the puck as a third defenseman.
Well, that's a great asset to a team when your goalie is able to move the puck well like he does.
Here's a chance for Kevin Grant, but he is not able to pull the trigger. Just 7 seconds left in the penalty. The Eagles trying to increase their 2-0 lead. Here's Kevin Grant. For Salt Lake to the rookie Paul Cruz. McInnes steals out of the penalty box. Is Young, but the pass through was off the mark. Had Young caught the pass, he might have had a clear-cut breakaway. Eagles, however, control the puck. Todd Harkins in for Cruz, a shot. Chevry the save, and Grant controls the rebound. Pushes it right back behind the net. Deasley and Rod Dahlman collide. Deasley trying to cut in front, but Dahlman knocks him down. The referee Cassidy watches impassively as the Gulls play it to center. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead here in San Diego, California. And Kevin Melrose, another Eagle rookie out of Harvard, able to play at the center. And then Sullivan, smacked by Brian Deasley at the blue line. And then we're going to have a stoppage of play as Deasley really gave it to Sullivan, who gets up slowly to the left of the San Diego goal just outside the blue line. The Eagles up 2-0 here in San Diego, and we'll be right back from the Sports Arena in just a moment.
More people are coming and going in Honda Accords than any other car in the U.S. Now, for an unprecedented limited time, your Utah Honda dealers are going to make Honda Accord even more pleasurable with a special 8.9% financing offer. Honda Accord. Your Utah Honda dealers: Ken Garth, Peterson, Daly, Willie, Academy, Heritage, with service as good as the Hondas they sell.
Shots on goal in the opening period. San Diego outshot Salt Lake 10-8, but the Eagles have the lead at 2-0. And on the right side, the Eagles play at the center, and then Young able to chip it right back in. Glad you've joined us here from San Diego. The Eagles clear it deep into the Gulls territory. Racing back after it is Young, and as soon as he touches it, icing is the call, and the faceoff will come all the way back. Of course, the Eagles, on their own side of center ice, clear it deep into the San Diego end. Gulls, Young touches it. As a result, the faceoff deep in the Salt Lake territory.
It doesn't matter where the player shoots it from, Mike. As long as he's on the other side of the red line, the faceoff is going to go all the way back to the faceoff circle on the right side. You'll see that if it crosses, if the player shoots it from the other side of the center all the way down the ice, it's going to be whistled and then brought all the way back.
Warren Sharples in goal for Salt Lake, looking to move over the 500 mark. He's 9-9-1. He was born in Montreal, Quebec, but grew up in Calgary. Of course, the Eagles, the farm team, the top developmental team for the Calgary Flames. Here is the Golden Eagle, the player Young, clearing it deep into the San Diego zone. Chernamaz trying to dig it free, but the Gulls come up with a puck. Here is Young in the center, right side for Duguay, drops it for Young. He is being tied up and then hit beautifully by Bucyk, who tries to ride him against the boards. Bucyk and Young still collide, and Duguay back of the net for San Diego. Young all over him, and then Norton hands it right to the Golden Eagles player, Daryl Olson, who's able to break up the right wing side. In for C.J. Young, shoots one, but it's whistled down offside as Young let the shot go, but we heard the whistle. With 5:37 gone in the second, 2-0 Salt Lake, and of course, Randy, offside. If a player for the offensive team is trapped in ahead of the play, preceding the puck.
It's almost like soccer, Mike, where you have to be on the right side of the line before the ball, or in this case, the puck crosses a line. And the rule is there for obvious reasons, so that someone doesn't sit and cherry pick in the opposition zone and just stand at the other end.
C.J. Young shoots it, but the whole play was whistled down as it was a stopped at the blue line.
Kerry Culloch was just a little bit eager to try to get to the net, perhaps to collect a rebound or whatever, and he got himself ahead of the plate.
Mark Bureau flanked by Tim Swinney and Corey Lyons. The Eagles have 10 forwards tonight and 6 defensemen. Here's Rick Lessard tied up. It's wound to center, and Kevin Melrose able to play it right back into the goal zone. And Darren Bannister shoots it free to center. Lyons trying to jam up on the boards, and finally it's Martinson who's able to stick it right back behind the Salt Lake goal. Eagles leading 2-0 here in the second period of play. San Diego in a forecheck, and the puck is loose on the right wing side. A quick shot towards the goal. Sharples gets a piece. Hall for San Diego to Tour. Shoots one. Sharples gets a piece, but Steve Martinson and Rick Lessard have some words. Martinson trying to get some punches through. Lessard doesn't want any piece of Martinson, and the linesman in a separate. Martinson ferociously trying to get at Salt Lake defenseman Rick Lessard, and Rick Lessard feels Martinson should get an extra penalty for jumping in late.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how the penalties are called here. Rick Lessard showed great restraint by not retaliating to what Martinson was doing to him. There again, he probably thought that it was more beneficial to him to try and stay out of the penalty box and perhaps try and get a power play out of the whole situation here. So, depending on how the penalties are called, I would have to suspect, Mike, that the Golden Eagles are going to go on a power play.
We saw Martinson go off. He played for Salt Lake 32 games in the 1984-85 season. He had 140 minutes in penalties in 32 games and has a tremendous penalty total over 2,000 in his 9-year career. And Rick Lessard, no stranger to the penalty box. Lessard this season for Salt Lake, 209 minutes in penalties, and that's a pretty good total at this time of the season. The Eagles up 2-0 here in San Diego, California, and we'll come right back in just a moment. Well, nope, we're going to keep it here as we're going to take a look at the last play for San Diego.
Well, watch Rick Lessard. He gives Martinson a push there into Warren Sharples, and that starts the whole situation right there. Martinson comes right back at him and pushes, and referee Dave Cassidy saw things pretty even there. He thought both players were involved equally and whistled coincidental penalties, so nobody will be on the power play after this altercation.
Martinson for roughing, Lessard for cross-checking at 6:13. The Eagles maintain their 2-0 lead, and back in his own side for San Diego is Darren Bannister for the goal. Able to play it to center, and Salt Lake's Kevin Melrose able to pop it right back in. Because Charlie Simmer hits it with a high stick, it's whistled down on the far side, but the Eagles up 2-0. Darren Bannister, the defenseman for San Diego. But of course, Randy, the play will be whistled down if a player has his stick above his shoulders and gets a piece of the puck.
Well, that's the key right there, Mike. You can knock the puck out of the air, but if the stick raises up over your shoulders, you're not allowed to touch it. If that happens and your team is beneficial to your team, meaning that they gain control of the puck, the whistle will go.
Here is Bannister plays for San Diego. The Eagles up 2-0. And in a forecheck is the Eagles Beasley. Right wing point for Grant. However, it skips to center and low. Pushes ahead for Larry Floyd. Floyd with the 54 points for San Diego this year. Knocked down. And we're going to have a penalty, I believe, against Salt Lake. As soon as Harkins touches the puck, the Eagles will be a man short here in San Diego. And the goals with that tremendous power play, a total of 78 power play goals, will have the man advantage. It is a 2-0 Salt Lake lead here in San Diego, California, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Real 14 KXIV Hot 94.9, the V Crew and Osco Drug present the Donruss Salt Lake Sports Card Extravaganza February 16th. 70 dealers' tables will have super selection and bargains.
I think it's just a well-rounded card show. I'm very impressed with it.
Meet Fred Boletnikoff and get his autograph 2 to 4 p.m. You can redeem any Planters or Leaf products proof of purchase for $1 off an autographed picture. The Donruss Salt Lake Sports Card Extravaganza at the Utah State Fair Park, 1000 West North Temple. Admission $3 at the door.
Eagles lead the San Diego Gulls 2-0. Kevin Melrose for tripping at 6:53. San Diego on their third power players. McKinnis a shot. Sharples a save, and the rebound skips wide. The Gulls 0 for 2 in this game. This is their third man advantage chance, and immediately Salt Lake play it down.
Well, the Gulls are just going to get back to the basics. Give it to Larry Floyd, who has one of the hardest shots in the league. Let it go, get some traffic, and hopefully get a rebound out of the whole situation and put it in.
Here is C.J. Young for Salt Lake, able to play it down. The Eagles scored a shorthanded goal already and have scored a whopping 14 shorthanded goals this year. Here's the puck loose in the defense, and Darrell Olson swings back of his own side. Now back of his net, picks an opening and flays it all the way down. not only did he shoot it down into the goal zone, but he eats up 5 or 6 seconds.
Well, that's called ragging the puck, Mike. When a player gets that, goes back, skates around, does a few dipsy doodles, and kills the penalty clock. It's called ragging the puck.
Just over a minute to go in the penalty. 12-12 left in the second. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead. Larry Floyd, Ron Duguay trying to work it free for San Diego, but covering up in the slot is Marco Siki, and the Eagles break out 3-on-2. Here's Bureau, flips it right back behind the goal, and San Diego's Hall plays to the right of the goal. So the Eagles' penalty killing continues to be very strong. Here's Hall into center. Slams it right back into the Salt Lake zone. Sharples plays it back of the net. Winds it free, but to Taylor Hall for San Diego. Back of the net for Sullivan. Eagles Olsen rides the goal player off the puck, and Hall plays to the right of the Salt Lake goal. He and Kevin Grant try and muscle it free. It's worked to the right of the Salt Lake net. San Diego's forward Sullivan tries to poke it free. Grant winds it into the corner. Sullivan comes up with a puck. Left point for McInnes to Sullivan in front of the goal, but it's blocked off beautifully by Darrell Olsen, and Sweeney unable to play the zone. Into forecheck Sullivan, loose puck in front, and finally Olsen leads it for Bureau. That's just about going to do it on the penalty. The Eagles player ready to come back on. Mel Rossi is on. The Eagles have killed it off, and the goal's 0 for 3.
Well, a very important kill there. The Eagles want to get the next goal. It's so important to go up 3-0 rather than make it 2-1.
Here is the Eagles defender Kevin Grant plays on left wing, a player out of the Ontario Hockey League, junior hockey. Here is the Deasley, able to wind the center, and then Grant has to go back, and he leaves it for the defensive-oriented Marco Siki. On left wing for Brian Deasley, but a 2-line offside is the call as Deasley hits Young on the far wing, and we have seen the offside, the straight offside, when a player is ahead of the play, but we also have what we call, Randy, a 2-line offside when a pass crosses 2 lines, obviously, here in San Diego.
Yeah, Mike, you can't make a pass from your zone crossing your own blue line and the center ice before anybody else touches it. You have to be within the confines of your own half of the ice to be able to make a stick-to-stick pass.
Eagles leading 2-0. Mark Bureau and C.J. Young, first period goals. The Eagles looking for their 7th straight win. That is the high watermark for Salt Lake. And with the victory tonight, the Eagles, in second place in the West, would move themselves 13 points ahead of San Diego. And that's why this game is so important, Randy, because the Gulls could cut it back to 9 with a win here tonight. A Salt Lake victory, and it's a pretty good distance between the two teams.
Well, this is their big thing that they're working on right now, is get a little bit of distance between them and everybody else in that division, and trying to catch Peoria, who's slumping right now.
Salt Lake coming into the action tonight, 19 points back of the pace-setting Peoria Rivermen, the first-place team in the division. Here is the play to the side of the Salt Lake goal. Ron Duguay for Al Tour. Shoots, and a stick-save. Sharples to deflect up into the stands. Al Tour let it fly. The former Los Angeles King, Minnesota North Star, and Hartford Whaler. Sharples gets a piece of it, and Warren Sharples has been outstanding. Steve Gannett is clearly the #1 goaltender. He's played 30 games this year. Sharples is outstanding as Al Tour winds up for the shot.
Well, a little bit of a bad angle. It perhaps may have gone wide, but nonetheless, Warren Sharples got a pad on it and kicked it out of bounds to relieve a little bit of the pressure that the Gulls have been putting on him.
What's it like for Warren Sharples as the #2 goaltender in Salt Lake?
Well, I'm sure it's a little bit tough on him, but he just has to remain focused, wait for his chance. He's playing very well right now, and he just has to continue on in his ways, and I'm sure he's going to see a lot more ice time because of it.
Sharples played his college hockey at the University of Michigan. The captain, Rich Chernamaz, ready to draw up against Larry Floyd. They were teammates together in Maine of the American Hockey League, and also with the New Jersey Devils of the NHL. Here's the Darren Lois shot. That deflects wide. Cutting in his Bannister for San Diego. To the side of the goal for Floyd. Centers for Tour shot. That's blocked off. San Diego's Larry Floyd, their leading point scorer, for Al Tour at the left wing side. As the Gulls try and work it free, Lowe and McCready collide. Puck is loose, and Sharples able to pounce on top and hold on, flopping in that goal crease area. And of course, Sharples would like to stand up, but if the puck is loose, he'll fall on top. And now the more physical activity in front of the Salt Lake goal. Rich Chernamaz, Darren Lowe, and C.J. Young involved also.
Well, that's due to part from frustration on the San Diego Gulls. They're playing a lot of pressure. and really have nothing to show for their efforts. So they're getting a little bit frustrated. They have to control that, bottle it up, and just put their energy into shooting on Sharples.
The Eagles leading 2-0 here in San Diego, California. Hope you're enjoying it. We'll be right back in just a moment.
What's that cool going down? What's that chill rushing through it? What's that takes your breath away? That's the taste of real refreshment. That's the real Diet Coke. That's the taste of real refreshment. Just for the taste of Diet Coke.
The Eagles leading here in San Diego 2-0 at the San Diego Sports Arena. Scott McCready, Salt Lake, Darren Lowe, San Diego, 2 each for roughing at 9:58. So matching penalties, so the teams will play in an even strength situation, 5 skaters apiece.
Well, they both have received 2 minutes each, so rather than have the teams drop down to 4 players each, it's a new rule that came in a couple of years ago that said if there's offsetting penalties, they'll just go into the penalty box, sit there 2 minutes, but the teams will remain at 5 men apiece.
Caused by Wayne Gretzky because he was so dangerous in 4-on-4 situations with the Edmonton Oilers and Los Angeles Kings, they had to change the rule.
Well, of course, he has so much skill, and the less players there are on the ice, the more room he has to move around, and he just was too much of a threat.
So, Wayne Gretzky causing a rule change in this game of hockey because of his dominance. Here are the Eagles trying to work it for Kevin Grant in against Morton. Grant tries to center for Sweeney in the slot. He shoots, and the goaltender Chevrier gets a piece, and finally Morton plays for the Gulls. Eagles close to advancing their lead to 3-0. Here's the puck loose to the right of the Eagles, the goal. Samard backhands behind the net. Eagles into forecheck. Mark Bureau for Tim Sweeney. Here is the product of Boston College. Sweeney trying to work it free for Bureau, and Sweeney hands for Bureau in front. Centers in the slot. Samard crashes into the goal, but is unable to get a piece of it as it rolls wide. San Diego's Taylor Hall bursts to center and plays it right back into the Eagles zone. Just over 9 minutes left in the second. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead over the Gulls, and then Robbie Nichols takes the hit from Martin Samard, and I think he's going to get called for a penalty. He feels Nichols started it, but I believe Samard's going to be the guilty player to the right of Warren Sharples, as Robbie Nichols caused some trouble last night. As I believe a San Diego player, it is Nichols, I think, that is down and out. But Nichols is one of those guys who's kind of an actor, and we'll see what happens. Kevin Grant was there also, and I think he got his stick up. Samard is there, too.
That's exactly what happened. It was Kevin Grant's stick who accidentally came up and caught Robbie Nichols there, but Martin Samard is going to be whistled for the penalty. I don't really think that David Cassidy is going to make the proper call on this, partly due because I don't think he saw it properly, Mike.
Well, we'll see what takes place here as we have here in San Diego. Grant and Samard were right there together, but it appeared that Grant got his stick on, and Martin Samard receives the roughing penalty at 10:56. The Gulls will go on their 4th power play. Nichols is still down as Grant did get his stick up on
Grant's stick right
Robbie Nichols. But Samard gets called. He was right there, too, and gave a little push, and so the Eagles, Samard is in the penalty box, but the Eagles, Grant will not serve the penalty. Samard will be in the box. Nevertheless, the Gulls will go on the power play, their 4th of the game. It's 2-0 Eagles, and we will be right back in just a moment from the San Diego Sports Arena.
So many people have enjoyed good times and good food at Talk of the Town restaurant. We invite you to continue to enjoy in 1991 with our early bird special of the day, Sunday through Thursday. Complete dinner for just $9.50 between 4 and 7 p.m. Talk of the Town features homemade pasta and delicately seasoned entrees to delight the most discriminating taste. Enjoy live piano entertainment Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings. Talk of the Town restaurant, 723 East, 7200 South. Call for reservations. Open 7 days a week. Sunday brunch, 10 to 3. Enjoy an evening at Pardner's, Ogden, or Holiday. Famous for truly unique atmosphere and really good food. Pardner's specializes in fresh seafood and tender aged beef, featuring our own homemade recipes. We serve dollar-saving early bird specials 5 to 6:30 p.m. every Monday through Thursday. Choose from 6 of our most popular entrees. Complete dinners at lunchtime prices. Enjoy the best for less at Pardner's, 337 31st Street in Ogden and 4668 South Holiday Boulevard, Holiday.
We're back here in San Diego at the Sports Arena. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead. Kevin Grant got his stick up on Robbie Nichols, who was taken to the player's bench. He was upended, but Samard is in the penalty box for Salt Lake.
Well, it was Kevin Grant's stick that did the damage, but Samard was there. David Cassidy thought maybe the glove that Martin Samard got up high was what caused the problem, but to us it looked like it was Kevin Grant's stick.
But Nichols escaped to the player's bench to get some repairs. The Gulls now in the power play, their 4th of the game, and a chance to cut the lead. The Eagles have a 2-0 advantage. Here's Darrell Olsen, picks an opening place, but not out. Pawed down by McKinnon. To the right side for Floyd as he swings it to the right of the Salt Lake goal. Ron Duguay battles against the boards, holds on to the puck. Being watched by Salt Lake's defenseman Mark Bucyk as San Diego Simmer for Duguay. He is hit by Bucyk, and the puck is loose in front for Simmer. Centers a chance for Floyd. Blocked down. And Salt Lake's Chernamaz wheels on the left wing side. Into the San Diego zone, across for Young. It's just out of his reach. Young trying to jam it free, and finally it's taken by San Diego. 8:08 left in the second. 2-0 Eagles. A minute left in the minor penalty against Samar. The Eagles, Sharples pounces on top and holds on deep into the Salt Lake goal crease area. And the Eagles so far killing off another penalty. San Diego 0 for 3 tonight and have not converted too many. Only 2 in their last 20, but here in San Diego, you have to credit the Eagles' penalty killing. They've done a great job of keeping San Diego from the slot area right in front of Warren Sharples.
They've been absolutely superb, Mike. They've really limited the scoring opportunities of the Gulls, partially because they're keeping that box very nice. They're when the puck goes down low, they're forcing their player into making bad decisions, and they're really not letting the Gulls get very many shots from the point area.
Glad you've joined us tonight. The Eagles leading 2-0. They still have another minute to kill on this power play. And Sullivan for San Diego. Able to play it to the side of the goal for Darren Lowe. He's a very offensive player for San Diego as well. A puck is loose. Grant knocks down Steve Martinson, and Sullivan plays to Martinson on the far side. The 31-year-old Minnesota native able to play it for Darren Lowe. Former Flint Spirit in this IHL. Hands it for Sullivan. Able to hold on to the point for Floyd. The Eagles doing a great job of keeping San Diego on the outside. Here's McKinnon now, holding on. Tries to work it free into the corner. And the Gulls to play it free in front for Floyd. But Rick Lessard breaks it up and winds it all the way down. Textbook penalty killing by the Salt Lake Golden Eagles.
It really is, Mike. They're really frustrating the Gulls right now. The Gulls really don't know what to do. They're passing the puck around the outside and not getting any good chances.
Here's Floyd, a shot. That caroms off the backboard. Samard is back on. The Eagles have killed off 4 straight San Diego power play. And Samard for Salt Lake able to play it free in the center. So the Gulls trailing 2-0. They have 78 power play goals in the season, but the Eagles have kept them at bay. Here's Duguay, sets it up for the forward Rod Dolman. Ahead on the far wing, Robbie Nichols, who's back for San Diego. He was the player that took that big stick. Here's Duguay, a quick backhand. Sharples a save, and then he sweeps it up into the stands. Sharples stops the veteran of 12 NHL seasons, Ron Duguay.
Well, as soon as Sharples knocked that over the glass, the captain for the Gulls, Al Tour, ran down to the referee and said, hey, that's a rule. You're not allowed. The goalie is not allowed to shoot it over the glass like that without it touching any part of the glass, or it would be a 2-minute minor penalty.
Except if you're in the process of making a save. And in this case, Sharples was in the process of stopping the puck, and that's how it deflected up into the stands. But if you just shoot it up into the stands, you get that 2-minute minor.
You're exactly right, Mike, but I'm sure that Al Tour thought there would be no harm in at least going down to test the referee to see what he thought about it.
Sharples makes the save, and then he shoots it up into the crowd, but because he was in the act of making the stop, there's no minor penalty against the Eagles netminder. Here's Bannister, a shot, pen save. Sharples off the face-off, and then San Diego's Tour, his shot off the stick of Duguay into the corner. Duguay sees a lot of ice for San Diego as one of the elder statesmen. Here is Salt Lake Bucyk, sets it up on left wing for Cruz. Charlie Simmer battling with Cruz, and they try and freeze it and succeed. On the far side, number 11 for San Diego, Charlie Simmer. Parts of 3 seasons with the Salt Lake Golden Eagles, and a member of the same Triple Crown line with Marcel Dion and Dave Taylor. Simmer played in the mid-1970s with Salt Lake. In fact, he played 140 games with the Golden Eagles from 1974 through 1977. He's on the left wing side of this line with Duguay. as the benches here in San Diego adjacent. Simmer part of this line for the San Diego Gulls. The puck is loose, right point for Bannister. His shot, stick save, sharp hold. The Eagles play it up into the stands, and a stoppage of play with 6:07 left in the second period. And again, Warren Sharples comes up big between the pipes, and the Eagles clear it up into the stands.
Well, he's been tested quite a few times throughout this game so far, but he's really stood his ground, and he's showing excellent concentration in keeping control of where he is in his net and controlling his rebounds. So that's one big thing. The Gulls have had an initial shot, but Warren Sharples has been able to control his rebounds, not giving them a second chance.
Eagles will be at home tomorrow night, 7 p.m. against the Kansas City Blades. A single game tomorrow evening again, 7 p.m. at the Salt Palace. We'd love to see you tomorrow night. Here are the Gulls taking control. Young, a shot, stick save by Sharple. And the puck is loose again to the right of the goal. The Eagles trying to jam it free. Here is the forward Sullivan, but Sharples himself plays it on the left wing side. Here are the Eagles taking control. Lassard pushes it against the boards, and the Eagles come up with the puck in the center. Scott McCready, a rink-wide pass for Mark Zero. Zero for the Eagles, ahead for Samar, blocked off at the defense, and Dave Coral plays the puck. He's a longtime member of the Adirondack Red Wings, the American Hockey League, a veteran in professional hockey. It's clear to the side of the Salt Lake goal. Eagles trying to wind it free, and then all the way to center. Here is Salt Lake. Tim Swinney upended, but no call as Cassidy watches it go by. The Eagles have had only one power play chance tonight. The Eagles leading 2-0 as McCready steers it to the left of the goal, and Coral plays for San Diego. Up ahead for Robbie Nichols. Puck bounces on edge. Young takes a somersault on the far side as he was scissored into the San Diego zone. Here is Lyons, pokes it right back in. Young racing free, shoots, and a stick-save Chevrier rig rebound. Lyons unable to control, and the Gulls break back. 2-0 Eagles, and a good scoring chance for Salt Lake. Young moving in for San Diego and whips it behind the Salt Lake goal.
Well, both teams are playing excellent defense right now and tying up the opponents and really alleviating them from having any kind of scoring opportunities.
Puck is loose at center. Lyons for Kevin Grant. One man back, that's Martinson for Young. Cuts in the slot, but he can't pull the trigger. And Lowe breaks back as this game opening up here in San Diego. Lowe moving in, cuts in the slot, in on goal, but Chernomaz back checks and takes it away and plays it up into the stands. Rich Chernomaz hustling back into his own side to break up the pass.
Oh, a great play by Rich Chernomaz, just due to a lot of hard work, coming back on the plate and really skating hard to get back and help out his defenseman, or else it was a potential good scoring opportunity for the Gulls.
Kevin Grant skates to the Salt Lake Players bench, a hard-nosed defenseman, played his junior hockey with the Sudbury Wolves of the OHL, and he's been so strong back there for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles, his second full season.
A big part of their defense, too, after the loss of Kenny Sabrin. Players like Kevin Grant have to step forward and be leaders now, and he's handled the pressure well.
Here's Brian Deasley, cuts in on goal. His shot deflects wide, and he crashes into the goal area. The net has been dislodged as Deasley just skated right into the goaltender Chevrier as the net was dislodged. And of course, the last couple of years they've had those magnetic nets, and in this case it really helps because as Deasley crashed in there, the net gently went off its moorings into the San Diego zone as Brian Deasley works into the goal territory.
Well, he's streaking down the right side there. Morton is pursuing him there. Perhaps got up high on him. It could have been a good chance for Cassidy perhaps to call a penalty against the Gulls, but he thought that Deasley was able to control the puck enough to get a shot away and didn't warrant a penalty.
Of course, if the defensive player intentionally knocks the net off its mooring, they can award a penalty shot to the offensive team, which is a very rare call.
And or if a player has a clear-cut breakaway and he's tripped from behind, a penalty shot may be called. And of course, a penalty shot is when the puck is put at center ice and the player is able to go after the referee blows a whistle on a clear-cut breakaway down on the goalie while the player is being stopped.
Daryl Olson picked up a 10-minute misconduct at 15:36 here in this period, actually 15:46, but as he skates towards the runway area and is walking towards the Salt Lake dressing room, but Bob Francis was very upset at the Salt Lake bench. Jamie Hislop, the assistant coach, former member of the Quebec Nordiques and Calgary Flames. Bob Francis not happy about that.
Well, with only 4 minutes and 14 seconds left in this period and Darrell Olsen getting a 10-minute penalty, he won't go in the penalty box and serve it. He'll just go into the dressing room and calm down and cool down and wait for the next period.
Eagles leading 2-0, scoring both their goals in the opening stanza. And Paul Cruz, the rookie for Salt Lake, clears it in. Cruz, only 20 years of age, winds it right back behind the goal, and Larry Floyd for San Diego winds it out of his own end. There is Deasley, steals for Salt Lake, winds up, shoots, and a save by Chevrier, and McInnes plays. Deasley, who just a few moments earlier crashed into that goal crease. Here's Martinson for Floyd. His shot, Sharples gets a piece as he went for the short side. And the Eagles able to play it in his center in a two-man break into the goal zone. Cruz with Deasley. Cruz shoots, saves Chevrier. Big rebound, and he can't control the shot. Now a centering pass. Saves Chevrier off of Todd Harkins in front of the goal. Paul Cruz pushing with a San Diego player. Martinson in there also to the left of the net. Martinson and Harkins in there also. But it was a tremendous scoring chance for Salt Lake. Harkins, the last man in. Cruz had a great chance. Chevrier stopped him, as again they're milling around to the left of the San Diego goal.
Well, a little bit of frustration again. Cruz was taken into the boards hard by McInnes. He took a little bit of disliking to that, started a little bit of push and shoving. Here's a great save by Warren Sharples. The pass came across and it was bouncing a little bit. Hard for Larry Floyd to control it, and it looked like as if it rolled off the tip of his stick. Maybe not where he was aiming it, but nonetheless, Warren Sharples had to come up big and make a great blocker save.
Warren Sharples has been outstanding in goal this evening, and of course the Eagles coming back the other way and having some scoring chances on Alain Chevrier. 3:32 left in the second. And the Eagles, Paul Cruz had the first chance.
He saw a little bit of light between Chevrier's legs, tried to put it through there. Corralled his own rebound and passed it out in front to Todd Harkins, who got a piece of it on top of the goal. Alain Chevrier had great concentration in making that save, or the game could have very easily been a 3-goal lead for the Eagles.
We have a goaltenders duel battling here in San Diego. Paul Cruz and Rob McInnes, 2 each for roughing at 16-28. So again, matching minor penalties, no power play here in San Diego. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead. Interesting on that last play, Todd Harkins and Alain Chevrier, both products of Miami of Ohio college hockey. Very few players have played at that school. Very few have made it professionally. And lo and behold, Harkins has a chance to score on Chevrier, and Chevrier makes the save.
And both are great prospects, too. Of course, Chevrier has spent a lot of time in the NHL, and Todd Harkins is a great prospect for the Calgary Flames for the future.
Todd Harkins and Alain Chevrier, products of the Redskins of Miami of Ohio. That's in Oxford, Ohio. Here is the lead pass cleared right back into the Salt Lake zone. Racing back after Kevin Grant. Icing is the call with 3:19 left in the second. 2-0 Eagles. And, of course, again, on the icing as the Golden Eagles will have the face-off in the San Diego zone. 2-0 Eagles, and we'll be back in just a moment.
What can you get for $49.99 at America's Best? New patients get daily wear soft contacts or 2 pair of eyeglasses, single vision lenses, and the eye exam is included. That's 2 pair of high fashion eyeglasses or a pair of daily wear soft contacts, including eye exam, $49.99. Only at America's Best. Contacts and eyeglasses. Final days.
Live from the San Diego Sports Arena, the Eagles with a 2-0 lead over San Diego. Glad you've joined us here tonight. Eagles win, they draw back, and they have to scamper back in their own side. Kevin Grant paired with Scott McCready on defense for Salt Lake. McCready sets it up for Mark Bureau in his own side. A cross-ice pass for Grant. Shovels it into the San Diego zone. Sweeney moving in. Pulls up, stops to make a play. Being watched, knocked down by Bannister, and then on the far side, Samard trying to dig it free. Eagles, the Bureau shot blocked off, and then it's wound right back to center where Grant on his backhand dumps it in. Under 3 minutes to go in the second. The Eagles having the 2-0 lead. We're going to have a penalty now against Salt Lake, a delayed penalty. And an empty net. As soon as Young touches it, shoots it into the empty goal, it's going to be stopped anyway. It appears to be a roughing call against Salt Lake, and San Diego, believe it or not, will have their 5th power play chance of the night here in the second period.
Well, that was just a case of a retaliation. David Cassidy didn't see the initial part of that play there. Kevin Grant just reacted to what happened to him, and then as David Cassidy turned around, he saw that, and Grant's going to go in for 2 minutes for roughing.
It's a roughing call, 17:22 the time, and again, San Diego in their 5th power play chance of the night. Grant, one of 7 players on the Golden Eagles with over 100 minutes in penalties, 3 players over the 200 mark. Gary Clark, Darren Banks, and Rick Lazard. Grant to the penalty box now, and again, a big test for Salt Lake. It seems they've been in the penalty box for most of the second period.
They have to be careful because up until this point, they have very good control of this game, and they don't want to put any kind of wind into the Gulls' sails by giving them a power play goal or anything like that, Mike. So they've really got to cut down on their penalty minutes and start controlling their aggravations and aggressions.
Rich Turnamaz, who had 101 points for Salt Lake a couple of years ago, able to drop it back for Kevin Melrose at his own blue line and sails it on his backhand right back in, and that's what the Eagles want to do, just play it deep into the goal zone.
And they've done it well all night, killing off all the power play chances of the Gulls.
Here is the forward Floyd for San Diego, dances into the Salt Lake zone. Tries to work it past Salt Lake's Bucyk, who stands him up. Duguay in front, shoots, and Sharple gets a piece. Here's Floyd now for the goal. Hands it for Duguay, left point for Charlie Simmer. On this San Diego man advantage, Simmer now tries to toss it across, but it's deflected up off the stick of Chernomaz and up into the stand. Eagles again keeping San Diego on the perimeter. What you don't want to do is allow San Diego a chance in the slot on a 2-on-1 or 3-on-2, and they're keeping them on the outside. They can pass it around all night long as they don't dump it in front of the slot.
The Eagles are doing an excellent chance of keeping their stick in the passing lanes, Mike, to prevent any kind of a pass through the slot to an open man. Sometimes the Gulls are really forcing the issue and making bad decisions and trying to put it through bodies and through sticks, and that's where they're coming into problems.
Warren Sharples took a shot in Salt Lake during the past weekend that hit the neck brace area on the mask, but he was okay. Here is the San Diego player Young tossing it right back behind the goal. Under 2 minutes to go in the period, 1:15 left in the power play for San Diego. Here's Simmer now back of the goal. Holds on for the goals, drops it to Young at the point for San Diego. The collegiate product, Young back of the goal for Simmer to Duguay, rolls in front, shot, stopped to the defense. Now Young a shot, that is blocked off. Big rebound, Sharples covers up in front of the Salt Lake goal with the San Diego Gulls buzzing in the Salt Lake goal crease area.
Well, this is really the first kind of pressure that the Gulls have put on the Eagles during their power play opportunities, and it's just a matter of getting people in front of the net, getting it and shooting it on Warren Sharples. That creates a bunch of problems, and you never know what's going to happen. Down low, Ron Duguay and Charlie Simmer, 2 big men. They're able to fend off everybody. Duguay steps out in front, gets a great scoring chance on Warren Sharples, who stood his ground and kicked it right back out. Young takes a shot, but look at Simmer right in front, right in there, causing a lot of trouble. And on the far side, Norton was there ready to pounce on a rebound too. Warren Sharples, being such a big, tall, lanky man, has such a big wingspan. He covers a lot of the net, no matter if he's down or up, Mike.
Face-off will come up to the right of the Salt Lake goal. Eagles up 2-0. And another great sequence of saves by the Eagles netminder and the Salt Lake defense keeping the goals at bay. Here is Young now for San Diego, holding on with 50 seconds left in the penalty. Lowest shot, that deflects wide. Cutting it is Young, back of the goal for Big Martinson as San Diego wheel and deal. Here is Taylor Hall. His shot is blocked off of the defense. Again, San Diego control. On this man advantage opportunity, here's Sullivan, cuts in the slot, checked off by Samard, and then Chernomaz winds it down. And the Eagles do another nice job of clearing it deep into the San Diego end. 25 seconds left in the penalty. Under a minute to go now in the period. The Eagles with the 2-0 advantage. Chernomaz hacks down Young. for the Gulls, and it's wound right back off the center. Just 15 seconds left in the penalty now, and the Eagles, Samard, winds it in. That's just about going to do it on the penalty.
Outstanding penalty killing by the Eagles. The Gulls are really starting to get frustrated and are starting to show right now.
Here's Martinson covers up into the Salt Lake zone. That's it. The Eagles have killed it off. The Gulls 0 for 5 in the power play. Here's Martinson, hands it right to the Golden Eagles player on the far side. Bucyk, it's wound to the blue line, and Lowe covers up. Flat shot, can't save Sharples, big rebound, and it's a flex wide. Gulls trying to center one, loose to the side of the goal, as San Diego wheel and deal. They're trying to cut the lead. The centering pass in front, but it's blocked off. Sullivan now for the Gulls, behind the net for Lowe. On this San Diego attack, Lowe trying to center for Martinson, but he's too well checked by Kevin Grant. Here is the puck center, 2 seconds to go in the period. Eagles clear at the center, and that's it. The buzzer sounds, signaling the end of the period. The Eagles holding to the 2-0 lead despite some last-ditch scoring chances for the Gulls.
Oh, great effort by Warren Sharples to preserve a shutout so far after 2 periods. He's really stood on his head, and when we've had the Eagles have had some trouble, he's been the backbone for him tonight, and he stood his ground and kicked the pucks out left and right.
Sharples has a professional shutout. The Eagles have had 3 as a team this year. Gannett, Sharples, and Wayne Cowley have all picked up shutouts. The Eagles have lost only 1 game in regulation all season long when they have the lead through 2 periods of play.
Quite a mixed-up play there, Mike. The puck almost went outside the blue line, but the Gulls were able to keep it in, and through that gained about 3 or 4 great scoring opportunities on Warren Sharples. Darren Lowe had a great shot. He was able to kick it out. Martinson controlled the rebound, and through that play, we're able to gain about 3 or 4 great scoring opportunities.
Well, Sharples looking for his 10th win of the year. The Eagles, within just 20 minutes of play, from picking up their 31st win of the year. We're going to go down to Mike Runge of the Salt Lake Golden Eagles.
Rich Chernomaz just off the ice and captain of the Golden Eagles. You're doing a great job. You've kept them scoreless in the second period. We played shorthanded an awful lot during that second period, but we're covering up well for Sharples.
Well, thanks, Mike. I think the biggest reason why we're playing shorthanded so much this period was taking too many unnecessary penalties, too many retaliatory penalties. They'll come in and take a cheap shot at us, and then we'll retaliate. And most of the time, the referee doesn't see the first shot. They always see the retaliation, though.
You guys have been playing hockey all your lives, and you know that that's going to happen. And it seems that these fellas, these kind of older, more experienced players in San Diego, sometimes bring out the worst in our players.
Yeah, they got some experienced players, you know. I think for the most part, we've played a pretty solid defensive game. Warren Sharples has played exceptional tonight so far, but we got another 20 minutes to go, and try and get the 2 points.
When you go back into the locker room and talk with Coach Francis, what goes on in there right now? You're cruising with a 2-0 lead. Be concentrating on keeping the puck in their end?
Well, I'll bet my life on it that he's in there saying, come on, guys, we can't take too many retaliatory penalties. We've taken our quota for the evening, and now we just got to sort of suck it up a little bit and play good defense in front of Warren Sharples, get the puck deep, and just keep playing solid and giving 100%.
Captain Rich Chernomaz of the Golden Eagles, now back up to Mike Barrick.
Well,
Hey, are you going to R.C. Willey's for the big President's Day sale?
You mean the one they're having to celebrate our birthday? I'm halfway there already.
Through Monday, save during R.C. Willey's giant Lazy Boy Gallery sale. Prices from $1.99 and get a Marie Callender cherry pie free.
Why don't we ever get invited to these things?
R.C. Willey's is now open at 23rd South, 3rd West in Salt Lake.
To Tony Roma's for the ribs judged best in America. And we've got more. Grilled, barbecued, or tossed. You know at Tony Roma's, it's gonna be great. Tony Roma's got the best tasting ribs around. Why go out unless you go for the best?
Anybody can say they're the best. Anybody can promise quality or great service. But when you invest hard-earned money in a business, you're not just anybody. I own my Meineke shop. I have to have satisfied customers. So do hundreds of other Meineke owners, coast to coast. Need a new muffler? Brake work? Come into Meineke. Nothing is unimportant here. especially delivering on what we promise you. At Meineke Discount Mufflers, nothing is unimportant.
PA Computers, 845 South Main in Bountiful, specialize in contemporary computer classes. Expert instructors use state-of-the-art techniques to teach you how to use your computer. You see the instructor's entries and compare with your own hands-on terminal. Train to use Macintosh or IBM-compatible computers. Register now for convenient beginning, intermediate, or advanced classes, for word processing, spreadsheets, even desktop publishing. Call 295-2299 now and get a free T-shirt and mousepad with your registration. PA Computers in Bountiful.
The new International Luggage Center offers the lowest prices in the West on suitcases, garment bags, carry-ons, and attachés, featuring the finest in Samsonite luggage, where you'll find the luggage professionals and a factory-authorized repair center. The new International Luggage at 328 South State, Salt Lake.
Salt Lake Golden Eagles cruising with a 2-0 lead here at the San Diego Sports Arena. Everything's going our way in San Diego. Let's see if everything's going our way in the Gulf. Let's go back to the studio for some more updates on the Persian Gulf War.
CNN Headline News. I'm Lynn Russell. U.S. military officials say if they had known civilians were in the building, they wouldn't have bombed it. But Iraq calls it a well-planned crime that killed 500 innocent civilians. The United States denies that building in Baghdad was only a bomb shelter, insisting it was a heavily fortified command and control center. It says the civilians inside it may have been planted there by Saddam Hussein to provoke international outrage. Crews were still pulling charred bodies from the shelter 14 hours after the pre-dawn attack. The White House says it is not and will not target civilians.
The loss of civilian lives in time of war is a truly tragic consequence. It saddens everyone to know that innocent people may have died in the course of military conflict. America treats human life as our most precious value. That is why even during this military conflict, in which the lives of our servicemen and women are at risk, we will not target civilian facilities. We will continue to hit only military targets. The bunker that was attacked last night was a military target.
So far, there has been no sign of flexibility on the United States. They are getting sort of mad with the use of force, with their BV-52 and with their Tomahawk missiles, and they seem to be enjoying it.
The bombing is putting Allied commanders on the defensive. They say they regret the loss of civilian life, but they can prove the building was indeed being used for military purposes. Rick Salinger reports.
To the Allied coalition, this was not known as a civilian air raid shelter.
I'm here to tell you that it was a military bunker. It was a command and control facility. It's one of many that has been used by the Iraqi government throughout this operation.
He said it had been an air raid shelter in 1985, but it was upgraded to a hardened shelter for command and control. It was targeted before the war. The facility became more active 2 to 3 weeks ago. Radio transmissions had been monitored from here with military operations in Kuwait. Military sources here say it was contrary to Saddam Hussein's policy to allow civilians at military sites. So there is the thought, if not the suggestion, that perhaps they were permitted inside knowing full well the shelter might be hit. Rick Salinger, CNN, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
With Hardee's Family Value Menu, Mom and Dad can feed themselves and their 4 kids for under $10. Dad can feed himself and his son's basketball team for under $10. Mom can feed herself for 3 kids, a neighbor's kid, and a kid she doesn't even know for under $10. Hardee's Family Value Menu is designed for families who want a lot of delicious food for not a lot of money. Like hamburgers for 59 cents, cheeseburgers for 69 cents, and hot dogs for 79 cents. Hardee's Family Value Menu, the return of good old family values.
Hey, you gonna eat that last fry?
Kiesel Sales would like to help you with your gift-giving ideas. Choose from our large selection of Zenith televisions, video recorders, and camcorders. Kiesel Sales also has the finest selection of home appliances featuring Maytag, Amana, Hotpoint, and Genair. Kiesel Sales can help make your purchase easier with 90-day interest-free financing, layaway, and free next-day delivery. Kiesel Sales, 3109 Washington Boulevard, Ogden.
In 1991, Gadgets wants to make a commitment to Salt Lake City to sell electronics lower than anybody in town. We have the lowest overhead, and it makes sense. We're the lowest price. Right now, we have an under $100 sale in the audio department. Everything's on sale. We have a Fisher CD player, 8 times oversampling, $99. A dual cassette deck, Fisher, $99. And 3-way 10-inch speakers, $99. Buy one, get one free at Gadgets Audio Sale now.
It's the right move. It's the right choice. Provo City, the move is going on.
Hunter, weeknights at 9.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Arena here in San Diego, California. The Salt Lake Golden Eagles with a 2-0 lead over the San Diego Gulls. Mark Bureau scoring for Salt Lake in the first period. T.J. Young as well. No scoring in the second, and that's where we stand. A 2-0 Eagles lead through 40 minutes of play. But one of the reasons for the Golden Eagles' tremendous success has been the man behind the bench, the head coach of the Salt Lake Golden Eagles, and a nice piece done on the Salt Lake man behind the bench, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It's coming up right now.
Come on, guys. That's a big kill. Now let's get a pump out of it and take it to him.
Bob Francis has a strong relationship with hockey in Salt Lake City. As a player, Francis electrified the crowd with his scoring feat. Now he leads the young Golden Eagles as head coach.
I always had it in mind when I graduated from college I wanted to be a coach, but I didn't envision I was going to be here in Salt Lake. And towards the end of the career, end of my career, Salt Lake allowed me the opportunity to pursue a coaching career as well as continue to play, and it gradually put me into the coaching ranks, and I'm very thankful for Art Teese in particular, because he's the individual that was responsible for me to getting the coaching job in Salt Lake.
Francis's ties to Salt Lake City go back to the 1980-45 season. As a centerman, Francis scored 214 points in 3 years, including a team-leading 98 to 1986-87. That year, Salt Lake captured its first ever Turner Cup. Francis took over as head coach June 27th of 1989, becoming the 12th head coach in Salt Lake Golden Eagles franchise history. Last year, Francis led the Eagles to a second-place finish in the IHL's West Division as the team advanced to the International Hockey League semifinals. The 1990-91 season marks the second campaign for the 32-year-old North Battleford, Saskatchewan native. The Francis legacy is long and successful. Bob's father, Emil, is well known in hockey circles from his days as a pro goaltender, coach, and general manager in New York, St. Louis, and Hartford. When Francis was GM in St. Louis, his minor league affiliate was in Salt Lake City.
As a parent, he's an individual that believes that everyone's his own man. And he said the most important thing in any coach is his ability to communicate and to be honest and never take the easy way out.
Although Bob was a successful scorer in the now-defunct Central Hockey League with Birmingham, Oklahoma City, Denver, and Salt Lake, he played only 14 games in the National Hockey League with the Detroit Red Wings in 1982-83.
As a matter of fact, I scored the first goal against St. Louis, who happened to be my dad's team, and I scored my second goal in New York, where I grew up watching my dad's team for 15 years in Madison Square Garden, where I had about 25 buddies there. So I didn't score many of them, but I utilized both of them.
Now as full-time coach, Francis looks forward to a long and successful career as he brings a dedicated and enthusiastic approach to the game. His goals are to develop young talent for the parent Calgary Flames and improve his own skills behind the bench.
DJ Zimmer, Ole Rick. Come on, guys. Let's pick the tempo up here now.
The one thing that you learn in this business is you don't try to duplicate anyone else's style, because number one, the players read through it. Number two, you're not going to be happy doing it. So I'm a hyperactive individual that likes to communicate with the players on the bench.
Fans in Salt Lake City have been treated to outstanding teams and personalities in the 21 seasons of hockey. One individual who has clearly made a mark is Bob Francis.
All five. All right, we're picking it up. That'll work, hard cruiser D's.
Bob Francis, a great individual to work with, and has a tremendous record over his first 2 years as head coach for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. The Eagles will take on Kansas City tomorrow night at the Soft Palace, 7 p.m. We'd love to see you, and we hope you're enjoying the broadcast here tonight. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead over the Gulls. and we'll be back in just a moment from the San Diego Sports Arena in San Diego, California.
Just a thought in passing. The longest distance between you and the gas pump is a short line, the Geo line of short compact cars from Gus.
Another collection agency demanding more money.
But we just don't have it.
And the bills keep piling up. Immediate relief is available. At the law firm of Rulon P. Burton and Associates, we can file a Chapter 13 within hours to stop lawsuits, garnishments, and foreclosures. Stop creditor phone calls and relieve the pressure today. Call now for a free consultation to learn more. Call 278-0404, Rulon P. Burton and Associates, 278-0404.
Who says you can count on Knighton Optical?
I do.
I do.
I do. And so does my whole family.
Count on Knighton Optical for the best in professional eye care and fast, caring service.
Their hours work out great with my schedule.
They even make special eyeglasses for computer users like me.
You should have seen how many kinds of no-line bifocals they showed me.
In a world of change, isn't it nice to have at least one thing to count on?
Yeah.
This is your ordinary run-of-the-mill cottage cheese. And this is quality-checked cottage cheese. Can't tell the difference? Quality-checked tastes fresher. How come? Over 22,000 checks and inspections. You can tell if it's been checked on the inside, if this check is on the outside.
Look for the check in the queue. It says our dairy foods taste better because we're better than we have to be. Creamo Weber quality-checked cottage cheese.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Arena here in San Diego, California. I'm Mike Barak alongside Randy Bucyk. And Randy, the Eagles leading 2-0. No scoring in the second period, but it was an outstanding goaltenders duel in the middle stanza.
Well, that's the main reason, Mike, why the score is so low, is because of the outstanding play by Warren Sharples and Elaine Chevrier. Both have been tested quite a bit tonight, but they've stood their ground and made a lot of great saves. Warren Sharples faced 13 shots that period, Elaine Chevrier 8.
And the Golden Eagles having a couple of scoring chances on Elaine Chevrier, quite a few, in fact, in the second period of play, and Chevrier was outstanding.
Well, he's a very quick goaltender, Mike. He's got great reflexes, and he really plays his angles well, controls his rebounds, and really eliminates a lot of problems for himself through his speed and quickness.
Warren Sharples looks for the shutout. The Eagles have had 3 shutouts this season. Sharples has been outstanding, not yielding San Diego any scores here tonight.
Well, I'm sure Warren Sharples is just concerned with the win. If it's a shutout, it's just like extra gravy. Here's a great save by Elaine Chevrier on Paul Cruz walking down, trying to go in between his legs. Just barely misses, unable to control his rebound, but has the composure to fight back, gain the puck, throw it back out in front to Todd Harkins, and Chevrier just made a great save there and controlled the rebound to stop the play dead.
Harkins, a rookie for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles out of Miami of Ohio, and Chevrier also played for that school. And Warren Sharples was equal to the task, as we mentioned, not yielding a scoring play here tonight.
Well, Warren Sharples has a very stand-up style, Mike. He comes out, plays his angles well, and he's a very tall goaltender as far as goaltenders go. He covers a lot of the net. Duguay comes out around the corner there, stands up, makes a save. As the puck comes back out to Young, he has a great shot, and Sharples showed great concentration there, where there was a little bit of traffic in front of him, to go down and stop the puck, and then control his rebound and stop the play there dead.
Well, the Eagles hold on to the 2-0 lead. Great goaltending here tonight. We should have a great third period here from San Diego, and we'll have the play-by-play in just a moment.
Go west off I-15 on 33rd South to 700 West for once-in-a-lifetime savings on the largest selection of custom vans and GMC trucks west of the Mississippi. Salt Lake Valley GMC is still under construction, but our giant inventory is already here, and we're passing the high-volume savings on to you now. Choose from over 300 custom vans, 100 new GMC trucks, and 100 used vehicles. We're not far from wherever you are. Get off I-15 on 33rd South and head west to 700 West and Salt Lake Valley GMC now.
A wonderful warm coat to keep the winter chill away can be yours now at savings of 20 to 50%. at ZCMI Cameo Room First. Take 24 months to pay interest-free. Free monogramming and alterations. Step out in maximum warmth and style. Choose from strollers, coats, and jackets from the largest collection in the West. Every surprise gift is subject to exchange of choice or full refund. 20 to 50% savings now at ZCMI Cameo Room First. Taste.
We're back to action here in San Diego, just underway in the third period. The Eagles holding to a 2-0 lead as the Gulls play the puck on the right side. So the Eagles trying to win their 31st game of the year. On the left wing side, Chernomaz breezing into the goal zone, but taken off the puck at the last moment by Rob McInnes on the right side. Ahead for Darren Lowe, able to push the puck to center, crosses the red line into the Salt Lake territory. In against Clark, shooting one. Sharples squeezes the pads together, but back of the play, it looks like we're going to have a slashing penalty. Just 55 seconds gone into this third period, and it appears that San Diego will have their 6th opportunity with the man advantage here tonight.
Kerry Clark's going to get whistled down for a slashing penalty there, Mike. Darren Lowe had a good head of steam up as he came through center ice area, cut across the blue line. Kerry Clark was standing still at the top of the circle in the Eagles' end, and as Darren Lowe came flying around the far side, Kerry Clark tried to do anything to break his concentration momentum. Took a swing at him, but David Cassidy thought it was too hard of a swing, and he's going to whistle him down. Clark didn't have good position on him. Lowe was going far around the outside, and Clark hacked him, and he got caught on it, and he's going to sit for 2 minutes.
Clark for slashing. Time of the penalty, 55 seconds. The Gulls 0 for 5 in the power play here tonight at the Sports Arena. Eagles trying to work it free, but they rule it was dropped unfairly. We'll do it over again in the Salt Lake zone. Eagles to kill it off at Bureau and Sweeney. Grant and Melrose on defense.
We heard Rich Chernomaz talk at the break saying that the team really has to start controlling their aggressions and stay out of the penalty box. So penalties could be a big factor in this game tonight, Mike, if they continue to let the Gulls go on the man advantage.
Charlie Simmer behind the net for Ron Dugay. Darcy Norton is the other forward as Dugay comes up with a puck. Being hacked by Salt Lake's Kevin Grant, and the puck is loose to the left of the Golden Eagles net. Here's Dugay trying to work it free, but Grant between the circles on left wing for Sweeney. Short-handed chance. Sweeney moving in, whirls back at center, and then just beautifully tips it for Kevin Melrose. He waits, turns, and then smacks it off the boards into center. Puck is loose into the San Diego zone, and the Gulls have to go back.
Well, a great play there by Kevin Melrose to really kill some time on the clock here and send the Gulls back in their own zone.
Eagles short-handed for another 1:18, 18:20 left in this third period, and Salt Lake holding to a 2-0 advantage. Here's McInnes on left wing. Shoots it off to the backboards behind the net. Eagles Melrose plays it all the way down into the Gulls territory, and again, San Diego have to go back. Here's McInnes on the left wing side. His brother Al was a Conn Smythe Trophy winner for the Calgary Flames a couple of years ago in the playoffs for MVP. Here's a shot by Norton, steered aside by Sharples, and the puck is loose to the side of the goal. San Diego on the power play. It's centered, but Samard able to break out of there for Salt Lake. The lead pass for Chernomaz a little bit behind him, and the Eagles captain just beautifully leaves it for Bucyk, and he slams it down into the goal zone.
Well, we've seen this all night long, Mike. The Eagles have been superb so far in their penalty killing, and the Gulls have really fizzled out.
Here is the puck loose on the left wing side. It's a chance for San Diego's Darren Lowe, being watched by Bureau to the side of the net for Martinson, but Sharples able to pounce on top and hold on with 2:37 gone into the third period at 2-0 Salt Lake lead. You know, the fans have not had a chance to see Sharples a lot this year. In fact, he's played only 9 of his 23 games this year at the Salt Palace, only 3 pro wins at home, so it's kind of nice for the fans to have a chance to see Warren Sharples back in Salt Lake. Of course, fans listening to the broadcast on the Golden Eagles radio network, but Sharples has not seen a lot of action at home, mostly on the road.
Well, he's done an excellent job, too. It's really, in some senses, tough to play on the road. But then again, if you look at it on the other hand, there's a little bit of added pressure to perform in your own building in front of your own crowd. So Bobby Francis is trying to help him out. He's a young player. His first year as best he can, and he thinks that's the best way to ease him in.
Mark Bureau to draw up against Sullivan. Bureau is outstanding on the faceoffs, and Bureau able to win the draw back for Kevin Melrose. Another Eagles rookie. The net has been dislodged as the Gulls try and work it free. And we're going to have another penalty here with 2:42 gone into the third period, a 2-0 Salt Lake lead. I think this one will go against San Diego.
Steve Martinson got whistled down there on a hooking call. Mark Bureau controlled the puck off the face-off, got it directly back to Rick Lassard, who gained the net area and was going to just turn around and clear it down the ice to send the Gulls back again. But Martinson got a stick on him, hooked him down, and pulled him into the net, dislodging it. But David Caspi, the referee, was standing right there to call the penalty. As Rick Lassard skates around the net, Martinson's got a stick on him and hauls him right down there, pulling the net off its moorings.
So the Eagles will have a power play for 1:47. Martinson in the box for hooking at 2:42. So the team's at even strength right now. Eagles looking for win number 31. They're looking for points 65 and 66, and looking for win number 14 on the road. 4-on-4 at this point with Bureau and Sweeney. Lassard and McCready on defense. McCready in his first season with the Golden Eagles. Bureau to draw for Salt Lake. The Gulls win the draw back on the left wing side, and Al Tour swivels in against the defense. Cuts in on a two-man break, shoots high over top of the net. Good scoring chance for San Diego. Then Melrose rides the player off the puck to the side of the goal, Sullivan, and now it's a power play for Salt Lake as the Eagles player, Clark, out of the penalty box. Now it's center ice here is the Sweeney cutting in with the Simard, drops it for Sweeney at the top of the circle. Right side pass for McCready. His shot. Chevrier gets a piece and cleared by San Diego deep into the Salt Lake zone.
Well, you see there, Mike, you don't really need a hard shot on the goal. It just has to be put in the goaltender's crease. With a little bit of traffic, there's a lot of problems there, and he's really forced to make it a lot tougher.
Here's Bureau cutting in on net. Tries to steer it free, but Chevrier the save, and then the net is dislodged again in the San Diego goal crease area as Bureau able to work in on the power play into the goal zone. The Eagles and the Gulls, it is 2-0 Salt Lake here in San Diego, and we'll come back in just a moment.
Hey, Salt Lake City, you need hard water zest.
Hard to get clean in hard water, and you're in a hard water town. Clean with hard water zest, and you know what we mean. You're not fully clean unless your zest fully clean.
Hard water zest was made for hard water. Soap leaves a film behind, but zest rinses clean. No film on your skin.
No ring in your toe.
You're not fully clean unless your zest fully clean.
We're at the San Diego Sports Arena live here tonight. The Salt Lake Golden Eagles and the San Diego Gulls, a 2-0 lead. An unusual number of times tonight, Randy, the net has been dislodged. Of course, with the meg nets, it's very easily for the net post to become dislodged.
Well, you know, the fans might think, well, why don't they put big holes in the ice so that the net doesn't pop off as easily as it has tonight? They, of course, had that in the past, but it caused a lot of problems and a dangerous situation for the players when they did come crashing into the net. It had absolutely no give, but with the invention of these little magnets, the net comes off, and it really has saved a lot of injuries.
Unfortunately, sometimes, such as the game tonight, the net has been dislodged quite often. Warren Sharples looks for his second professional shutout. The Eagles as a team have had 3 this year, and they still have quite a bit of time to kill off here. 16.5 minutes left. The only goals in the first period, Mark Bureau is the 35th of the year. C.J. Young, his 21st. Bureau, by the way, only 8 shy of his career high. He had 43 last year for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. Face-off in the San Diego zone. Eagles with Chernomaz trying to drop it free, but the Gulls, Duguay, breaks free to center. On the right side for the forward, Morton scores! Does a little dance to celebrate. The Gulls score a shorthanded goal to cut the lead.
Well, that was a great passing play by Ron Duguay. He used a lot of his smarts there, picked up the puck, broke out of his own zone, just made a little chip pass up to Darcy Morton. Mark Bucyk had him covered, but he wasn't sure where the puck was because his back was to the play there. Norton had a step on him. Duguay just chips it up ahead to Morton. Norton has a step on Bucyk, gets around him. Bucyk's trying to hook him down a little bit and prevent him from getting a chance, but Norton kept his strong stance there, stepped around him and slid it right just to the far side of Sharples, just inside the goal post.
Ron Duguay in his assist on that goal. It's the only assist. Norton is 12th of the year, his second shorthanded goal. 3:38 the time of the tally, and the Gulls have broken the shutout and have cut the lead. Norton did a little dance to celebrate as well. He spent the last 2 years in the Minnesota organization with the Kalamazoo Wings. And the Eagles now have to hold on with 16:10 left in this game. They do have the power play, however, for another 50 seconds. It's cleared right back into the goal zone. Chevrier plays it on his backhand. Salt Lake, the Bureau, trying to drop it free for Lessard. Left point, shoots, and caught by Chevrier. He holds on as the Lessard let it fly from the left point.
Great save by Chevrier, but he had a clear look at that shot, Mike. The puck went back to the point. Lessard let it go. There was no traffic in front of Chevrier, so it was quite an easy glove save for him. He wisely chose to hold on to it, get the whistle, hopefully win the face-off and get the puck down the ice to get the pressure off of him during this Eagles power play.
Eagles have the lead at 2-1. Now Tour talking things over with Larry Roberts, the trainer for San Diego, Dave Cassidy, the referee, who, as mentioned earlier, works also as a linesman in this league. The face-off in the San Diego zone. Salt Lake goals by Bureau and C.J. Young in the first period. Darcy Norton has cut the lead here in period 3. And Randy, is there any difference in strategy when you're up 2-0 versus 2-1? Do you try and hold back a little bit more defensively, or no, with the 15:57 left?
Well, there's so much time left on the clock, Mike. You can't really afford to lay back because when you do that, you're only creating a headache and a lot of problems for yourself because you're allowing the other team to skate into your zone unmolested, and usually they're the ones that are going to have the good scoring chances. You have to keep up with the same way that you built that lead on.
Eagles have Bureau, Sweeney, and Simard. Another 40 seconds to work on the power play, and Lessard takes over left wing point. Able to spin it for Scott McCready. Hands it free on the right wing side. Simard trying to jam it into the corner. And the Gulls Tour back of the net, being hounded by Sweeney. Also there is the defenseman Coral for San Diego, and Sweeney whirling around. Back to the point, Lessard. Hands it free for Bureau. One-time shot. And I believe Chevrier got a piece of it, and it ricochets all the way deep into the Salt Lake zone. A one-time shot by Mark Bureau.
Very hard for a goalie to stop because it happens so fast. He's just sliding across the crease trying to get over to the other side, and the puck starts flying at him. Very hard thing to stop.
Here is Floyd Aspert. That's it on the penalty. So the player out of the penalty box, Martin, the Gulls not only kill off the penalty but score a shorthanded goal as Lessard back after. Icing is the call, and he does a little swan dive into the corner to the right of Warren Sharples. The Gulls cut the lead 2-1. Rick Lessard, 3 goals on the season, but a key goal in the game last night against the Gulls, the 4th goal to give Salt Lake a 4-2 lead.
Well, last night was a great win for the Eagles, but I'll tell you what, they're right in the middle of a fire tonight. A 2-1 game right now. The Gulls seem to have a little bit of momentum going. The Eagles are going to have to take it away from them. The next goal is so important.
Face-off will be at center. The Eagles having Todd Harkins to drop against Ron Duguay. Cruz and Deasley are the wingers. They've added an assist on that scoring play. Dean Morton added to the score sheet, so it should read Darcy Norton, his 12th of the year, from Duguay and Dean Morton. 3:38, a shorthanded goal. Nevertheless, the Eagles will try and score the next one. They're up 2-1. Here's Duguay, cuts in on left wing, a chance for Norton, in on goal. Circles back of the Salt Lake goal and centers, but blocked off by Kevin Melrose on the left wing side. Melrose ahead for Cruz as he's able to play it off the boards to center, and McInnes for the goal. Plays it, but stolen on left wing. Heasley in on goal. His shot off the stick of the defenseman Morton and into the corner. Salt Lake's Deasley hustles in, but Duguay plays to the right of the goal. The former New York Ranger, Duguay, able to play it to center. It bounces on edge, and finally it's flat as Osiki able to cue it to center. Deasley now into the goal zone with Cruz. Deasley shoots, and Chevrier to save. Rebound, and he shoots it right through the goal crease, but the Gulls able to play it to center. Good scoring chance for Salt Lake as Lessard able to play it off the glass into the goal zone. The Eagles change up offensively. C.J. Young, Corey Lyons up front for Salt Lake with Chernomaz, and across the line, a chance for Martinson, but he can't pull the trigger. It rolls off his stick, and Salt Lake's Young plays on the left wing side. 6 minutes gone into the third period. The Eagles holding to a 2-1 lead, and the Gulls that knock it in offside at the defense. The Eagles up 2-1 here in San Diego at the Sports Arena. Hope you're enjoying the action, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
The times I can't forget, the heroes, my friend. I know that it's all forever. The real thing, talking about the real thing. Oh, you know it when you see it, know it when you feel it, know it when you drink it. Coca-Cola classic, it beats the real thing.
Here we are in San Diego, the Eagles holding to a 2-1 lead. The Gulls have scored the only goal here in this third period, and Salt Lake on the attack. Here's C.J. Young, played in the Goodwill games this summer in Seattle, Washington. Young trying to maneuver free in for Chertomaz. Grant covers up, shoots, and Chevrier gets a piece, big rebound, but it skitters right to Duguay, and here comes a flashy San Diego forward. Duguay in on goal, shoots, and that's blocked by Lassard. Duguay can still skate with the best. Here's the low, and Grant to collide, and Grant comes up with a puck and charges it up on the right side and dumps to center. Boy, Duguay can really skate as Duguay flips it right back to center. Eagles Young tripped up, and finally on left wing, Tour hands it right to Rich Chertomaz, who leaves it for Grant, and he just plays it to the San Diego blue line. Here is the Gulls player on the right side. Floyd cutting in on goal, the Nichols, and he shot it wide. It was Nichols who was working into the Salt Lake zone. Here is Grant now, plays it to the blue line and all the way deep into the San Diego zone. It will not be icing because they rule San Diego could have played the puck. 12:38 left, third period. The Eagles holding to a 2-1 lead and a good possible scoring chance for San Diego. As the Gulls play it right back on the right side, Tour able to play it to center. Gulls on the attack. It's slammed in by the forward, Sullivan, but it's deflected away by Olsen, who plays it deep into the San Diego zone. Now Tour back after it as he touches it. Icing is the call here in the third period with Salt Lake holding to a 2-1 lead. Again, icing called because the Golden Eagles shot it from their own side of center, and it crossed the San Diego goal line and touched by a Gulls player.
Well, that's an icing call. That'll bring the puck all the way back into the Eagle zone, and the faceoff will just be to the left of Warren Sharples. It seems to me right now, Mike, that the Eagles are perhaps maybe sitting back a little bit, and the Gulls are creating a lot of chances for themselves. And Warren Sharples is being tested a lot more in this third period than he has been throughout the first two periods of this game.
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, the Eagles and Kansas City. Military Dependence Night. If you're a dependent of someone in the Persian Gulf, or if you're in the military, come on down to the Salt Palace tomorrow night. It's a freebie, the Eagles and Kansas City. Here is the Robbie Nichols trying to hold on to the side of the goal in front of the net. Now to the left of the goal. McKinnis shoots it off the side of the net. It tingled, and the fans thought it had gone through, but it did not. And the Eagles Bureau able to break to center. Chris crosses with Samard. The drop pass for Olsen. In on goal for Sweeney. Shoots, and the save made by Chevrier. Great scoring chance for Salt Lake. Now Sweeney able to play it for Samard. Back to the point. Olsen shoots. Kick save. Chevrier. And then McKinnis and Sweeney collide on the left wing side. Gulls try and flip it free, but Salt Lake in a forecheck. Samard back of the net knocked off the puck, and the Gulls control. 11.5 minutes left. Third period, the Eagles with a slim 2-1 lead. In a heck of a hockey game here from San Diego. Bureau sets it up for Deasley on the right side, and then Cruz covers up into the San Diego zone. Eludes McKinnis in on net, but he's tied up beautifully by the defenseman Dean Morton. Eagles control. Harkins a shot. That deflects wide, and it actually ricochets off the backboards all the way to center. Eagles Melrose being hounded by the forward Norton, and then Salt Lake on the attack. Here is Harkins moving in to the goal zone. Drops it in front, but Duguay steals for San Diego and leads out of there with the Eagles holding to a 2-1 lead. Dugay's pass off the mark, and Deasley flies into the goal zone. Here's the rookie Harkins after it. Chops it right back behind the goal, and the Gulls have to go back. This has been a long shift for the Golden Eagles threesome, as it's worked in on left wing for Harkins offside with 10:36 left in the third period. And Randy, how long are the shifts for a team? And we'll talk about that in just a moment. It's 2-1 Eagles here in the third period, live from San Diego, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Enjoy an evening at Partners, Ogden, or Holiday. Famous for truly unique atmosphere and really good food. Partners specialize in fresh seafood and tender aged beef, featuring our own homemade recipes. We serve dollar-saving early bird specials 5 to 6:30 p.m. every Monday through Thursday. Choose from 6 of our most popular entrees, complete dinners at lunchtime prices. Enjoy the best for less at Partners, 337 31st Street in Ogden and 4668 South Holiday Boulevard, Holiday.
Eagles leading 2-1, 10:36 left in the third period. We'll talk about the line changes and how that operates in a hockey game. The Eagles right now holding to a slim 2-1 lead with only 10:36 left. And the Gulls chip it free back of the Salt Lake goal. San Diego's forward Martinson after it, clear to the blue line. Coral slings it to the side of the goal. Floyd centers for low. He scores!
Well, that was a great passing play, but the whole play evolved through the great anticipation of Dave Coral. He thought that he could jump down into the zone and prevent the Eagles from breaking out, which he did very successfully. Kept the puck down low, and that's how this whole scoring play happened. The puck came out in front to Lowe, who was out by himself. Here's the puck down low to Floyd, out in front to Lowe, who's nobody near him, and he just shovels it past Warren Sharple. But previously, before that, Floyd was able to get the puck because of the great play by Dave Coral.
Darren Lowe, a veteran player, played briefly in the NHL with the Pittsburgh Penguins, scores the goal, his 18th of the year. Larry Floyd on the assist, and they've also given an assist to Dave Coral. The game is tied at 2, and it was a pretty good setup for Lowe in front.
Well, it was a great play all around by all 3 players. The Eagles thought that they perhaps were going to get the puck out. A couple of players left the zone, maybe a little bit prematurely, leaving them shorthanded in their own zone. And when the puck came back, Darren Lowe was left in front of the net all alone.
Olsen a long shot, steered aside by Chevrier. Not much of a chance for Sharples with the forward Lowe all alone in front. Now a chance for San Diego's Floyd into the neutral zone, and he just punches it right back of the goal. So the Gulls have tied the game. The Eagles coming into this period leading 2-0, but it's a 2-2 standoff as the Eagles on the attack. Here is the Chernomaz in for a streaking player in front. Clark backhands it wide. Then Clark rumbles after a San Diego player. We're going to have a penalty back of the play as some more pushing along the boards with 9:40 left. Here in this third period, a 2-2 standoff.
Well, the way it looked, I think David Cassidy is going to call coincidental penalties against Young for the Gulls and Rich Chernomaz for the Golden Eagles. Young took Chernomaz into the boards rather hard, and Chernomaz retaliated by swatting away at him. But Dave Cassidy was right there, saw the whole incident, and he's going to even things up here, Mike.
Well, the teams will still be at even strength, just the minor penalties here with 10:20 gone into the third period. The Eagles and the Gulls tied at 2. Young for San Diego, a roughing minor. Chernomaz Salt Lake holding penalty, and again the penalties at 10:20 here in this third period. The Eagles goals tonight, Mark Bureau and C.J. Young. San Diego scoring twice here in this third period. Darcy Norton, his 12th, and Darren Lowe, his 18th at 9:36.
There's Chernomaz right there. He's taking the hit from Young. Young got his hands up high on him, but just after that, Chernomaz held Young and didn't let him get back into the play, and that's why Rich Chernomaz got a penalty on that play.
Here is Rick Lassard, right wing side for the Golden Eagles. Marco Sikiu shovels it right back into the San Diego corner to the right of the net. Eagles into forecheck. Puck squirts free. It bounces in front, and Chevrier able to pounce on top and hold on. Interesting about Alain Chevrier, the Detroit Red Wings have a slew of goaltenders. Glenn Hanlon in Detroit this year. Dave Gagnon, $1 million signee, a free agent signee. Tim Chevelday. They have a guy by the name of Scott King, so they're loaded in goal. That's why Chevrier's in net for San Diego.
Well, it's like that everywhere, Mike. There are so many teams with so many great goaltenders, and there's only really 4 positions available, and they have to find places for these players to play. And that's why you see a man of Alain Chevrier's caliber down in this league, but it really does help the league out to see a seasoned veteran like him come in and play.
Chevrier beat the Eagles the January 11th by a score of 7-3. So the Eagles trying to get back for that loss, a little revenge from the 7-3 setback January 11th. This game has really turned into A very exciting one, Randy, with the goal scoring twice. Not so exciting for Coach Bob Francis, however.
Well, no surprise that the game's so close because I think there's been, I think maybe 8 out of the 11 have been a 1 or 2 goal defeats. So it's always been a close game between these two teams.
Golden Eagles looking for win number 31. They're looking to move 13 points ahead of San Diego in the division standings. Here are the Eagles trying to work it free, but the back of the goal, San Diego's tour plays. Back of the net, Samard into forecheck. A fight for it ferociously into the far side, and finally Nichols picks an opening and spins it right back into the Eagle zone. It might be an icing. Lassard back after. Icing is the call, but only because Lassard won the battle back there, and the face-off will come all the way back.
You know, Mike, another thing I would just want to talk about is the penalties. With only 9 minutes to go in the game, the score tied 2-2. Both teams are going to be very cautious now. They're not going to play with such reckless abandon because they don't want to jeopardize their team's situation by putting them in a short-handed situation, especially coming this close to the end of the game and the score being so close.
8 of the 10 games this year between the two teams have been decided by 2 or fewer goals. 5 by 1 goal, 2 by 2, and here it's a 1-goal game because it's a 2-2 tie with 9:08 left.
Well, and surprisingly enough, the Gulls are playing so great, and this is their 6th game in 9 days. They've got to be tired, you would think, anyways.
Here are the Eagles on the attack, back of the goal. Tour for San Diego plays it for Bannister to the lump of the goal. It's flipped all the way to center, and San Diego try and wind to center the bureau. Able to whack it for Bucyk, and he spins it right back down. 8:51 left in the third period, a 2-2 tie. Robbie Nichols plays for the Gulls, able to work out of there for San Diego. Nichols first to center. He's able to spin into the Salt Lake zone. Lassard knocks him off the puck. Eagles wind it to the far side, but Tour holds it in. Back of the goal, the puck on edge, and finally Lassard flattens it out as he works out of there. Here's Rick Lassard, a former first-team IHL All-Star a couple of years ago on defense. In this IHL for Marco Bucyk, the rookie, clears it in. Eagles change up defensively, and Melrose and Grant, the new defensive pair for the Golden Eagles. Just over 8 minutes left in this game. We're tied at 2. Gulls take over on the left wing side. It's chopped right back into the Eagle zone and up into the stands. A stoppage of play with just a little bit over 8 minutes remaining. 2-2 tie here from the San Diego Sports Arena. The Eagles and the San Diego Gulls, and we'll have a face-off outside the blue line to the right of Warren Sharper.
Well, with only 8 minutes left to go in the game, Mike, time is becoming a factor here as to the final outcome of what will happen here. Should the game stay tied through this last 8 minutes, we'll take a 2-minute break. Let the teams get a little bit of a breather and start a 5-minute sudden death overtime.
Brian Patafi at the Salt Lake players bench as we have the 2-2 game. Mike O'Connell, the head coach for the Gulls. He played in the National Hockey League with Boston, Detroit, and the Chicago Blackhawks. A 35-year-old Chicago native. In his first year as head coach, he had an impressive playing career, and he's the son of former Cleveland Browns defensive back Dick O'Connell. He played his college ball at the University of Illinois. Mike O'Connell, an outstanding player in the National Hockey League, his first year behind the bench for the Gulls. Eagles and San Diego tied at 2. Lead pass on left wing, but it's broken up in the defense, and Grant swivels to get away from Simmer, and he's able to poke it up into the stand. A stoppage of play with under 8 minutes left in this game, a 2-2 tie. We have a couple of finals to report in the International Hockey League. The Milwaukee Admirals defeat the Muskegon Lumberjacks by a score of 7-4. And the Phoenix Roadrunners and the Kansas City Blades. Phoenix win the game by a score of 5-2. And the Eagles will take on Kansas City tomorrow night at the Salt Palace. The game time, 7 o'clock. Hope to see you tomorrow evening. Special Valentine's game, Military Dependence Night. Also February 20th, the Eagles against Muskegon will be family night. The 10 members of your family can get into the game for just $20. Puck is loose, left wing point. Chance for McInnes, and it's blocked off. It actually, I believe, went up the shirt of Kevin Melrose. and he's trying to find the puck. Where is it?
There's something that very
You're going to have to
rarely happens.
undress him to find the puck.
Usually, Mike, on the back of a jersey, the players have a tie down, and that's in case they do get into an altercation with another player that when they start fighting, the other player doesn't pull the jersey over his head, so it's tied from the back of their jersey to the back of their pants.
Again, February 20th, the Eagles against the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Family night. Up to 10 members of your family can come to the game for a total of $20. A great deal. We'd love to see you February 20th. For the fans making some noise here in San Diego. A 2-2 standoff late in this game, and we've had a little bit of everything here tonight. Great goaltending and a lot of drama. Here is Salt Lake's Grant, plays it but not out. At the point, McInnes, the shot blocked off. The puck bounces on edge, and Cruz plays for the Golden Eagles. Left wing for Melrose into the San Diego zone, but blocked off, and Duguay trying to make a play. It bounces to center, and Darcy Norton, who scored the first goal for San Diego, on left wing for the 36-year-old Charlie Simmer. Not flying, but Duguay drops it back to McInnes, but it's out of his reach and rolls back into the goal zone.
Well, of course, that won't be icing because it was the Gulls who shot it down into their own end, just a miscue.
Here's Simmer, tries to pass it in front, but Norton can't get a stick on it. Now Cruz plays for Salt Lake with just over 7 minutes left in this game. The game is tied at 2 as Salt Lake clear it right back in. Chevrier to the side of the goal, leaves it for McInnes, who's able to work out of there for San Diego. Rolls in across the blue line. McInnes stops, drives it just wide. At the point, Floyd for San Diego. His shot, Sharples gets a piece. And then on left wing, Corey Lyons, the rookie for Salt Lake, out of the Western Hockey League, moves in, cranks up a shot. It's blocked. Samar to drive up into the stands, and it's stoppage of play. First Corey Lyons and then Samard with chances, and both were deflected before they were able to get towards that San Diego goal.
A couple of great shots there, Mike, but from quite far out, it deflected up over the glass, and that's why the whistle.
The Eagles and the Gulls tied at 2. We're here in San Diego. Hope you're enjoying the action, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
While every bank has its own personality, their claims are all very similar. They say they're friendly or very knowledgeable, convenient, or offer great service. So how do you decide which one will deliver what they claim? May we suggest you look to the bank whose people allow it to stand a little taller, a little stronger?
I did. Well, of course I did.
We're back in San Diego. The Eagles and the Gulls tied at 2, just over 6 minutes left in regulation time as C.J. Young plays the puck for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. The rookie who played his college hockey at Harvard. In across the line. Young trying to sweep it through, but Chevrier is able to pounce on top and hold on as the Eagles Young crashed into that end board area with Dave Corral of the San Diego Gulls. And this game going down to the bitter end here at 2-2 tie. We want to remind everybody that if the game is tied through 60, we would have a sudden death 5-minute period to decide a winner. Both teams would receive a point, and then it would be for the bonus point.
Well, that's when the game really becomes exciting. Of course, whoever scores first, the game will be over. They'll get 2 points. The other team will get 1.
The benches here in San Diego, adjacent. 6:07 left. Bob Francis, Jamie Hislop, and Brian Patafi on the Salt Lake bench, of course, with the Eagle players as well. 6:07 left. The game tied at 2. Glad you've joined us here tonight. We've had a very enjoyable evening. The puck is loose back of the San Diego goal. Samar trying to chip it for Bureau. Bureau is unable to gain possession of the puck, and then it's wound right back behind the goal, where the Gulls Bannister trying to gain possession. They fight for it ferociously, and then Duguay able to sky it into the neutral zone. Under 6 minutes left in this game, and then it's deflected up to the near side with the game tied at 2. Bureau and Young for Salt Lake in the first period. Norton and Lowe here in the third period. Again tomorrow night, the Eagles against Kansas City at the Salt Palace, 7 p.m. The Blades have the worst record in the IHL, but they play the Eagles pretty tough this year.
Well, they're in their division. It's their first year into the league. They're experimenting quite a bit. They're looking for the right formula as far as who they want to interject in their lineup. But you're right, Mike. They always do have a great game against the Eagles.
And, of course, the second televised game, the Eagles and San Diego, will take place February 28th. That game will be played at the Salt Palace, and you won't want to miss that. Here's the puck loose on the right side. Mark Bureau spins to free. into the center ice area, and Bureau slams it right back into the goal zone. Caught by the goaltender Chevry, and he sets it up for Al Tour on the left wing side. Eagles are trying to jam it free. They fight for it ferociously over there. It's flipped in the slot and finally cleared by San Diego, but not out smart after it. And the goaltender Chevry is able to pounce on top with 5:12 left in the third period, a 2-2 tie.
Well, Alain Chevrier, Mike, you can see he's got a lot of smarts. He's a very seasoned veteran. He knows exactly when he should hold onto the puck, get a whistle and start over again, and when she should pass it off to his defenseman. He's always aware of where everybody is at all times.
Robbie Nichols, a very fierce competitor. He played last year with the Phoenix Roadrunners. And, of course, Mark Bureau on both scoring plays involved with the scoring goal at 6:40 in the first period, and then set up C.J. Young. Tim Sweeney has been playing with Mark Bureau and Martin Samars for the most part.
Well, kind of a homecoming for them when Tim Sweeney got sent back down from Calgary. They've just took right off right where they were last season, and it's been a big plus for this Eagles through this winning streak that they've had.
San Diego Gulls, an unaffiliated team. They have players from various NHL teams under contract. Here's Simmer on left wing for San Diego. Able to spin free into the neutral zone, crosses the red line and dumps it right back into Eagles territory where Cruz plays it into center, and a chance for Salt Lake. On the left wing side, Deasley, one man back. He shoots high over top of the net. Deasley let it fly. Here's Cruz for Salt Lake, trying to muscle it free. It's a work on the left wing side of the Gulls. Break free to center. Two-man break for San Diego. In across the line, McInnes, caught up by the defensive player on the far side, Osiki, and the Eagles come up with a puck, and Cruz able to play it in the center. 4.5 minutes left. Third period, a 2-2 tie. And Larry Floyd able to wind it free on the right side. Streaking free, Darcy Norton shoots, pass save, Sharples. And with San Diego changing, no other player there to try and work free for a rebound, as Coral slams it right back behind the Eagles goal, and Salt Lake control the puck.
Great play by Warren Sharples, get behind the net and gain control of that puck, or else it would have wrapped right around to Dave Coral.
Paul Cruz trying to work it free. Harkins also, and Todd Harkins for the Golden Eagles with 9 goals this year on right wing for Ryan Deasley. In across the line, Deasley stops, holds up to the top of the circle, tries to center one, blocked off by Dave Coral, who's able to try and work it free. And finally, Young plays for San Diego on the left wing side. Scott Young, no relation to C.J. Young of the Golden Eagles. Here's Melrose into center. Left wing side for C.J. Young, knocked off the puck, and finally Melrose just yanks it right back into the Gulls' end. 3.5 minutes left. Third period, a 2-2 tie. San Diego scoring both goals here in the final period. Now the Gulls break 2 men to center. In across the line is Martinson, holding on, trying to center. Sullivan! The Sharples gets a piece. And the puck is loose, and finally Chernomaz able to breeze to center. Good scoring chance for San Diego, but Chernomaz zigzags with Young, but Young ahead of the play offside. Only 3 minutes and 13 seconds left. We're still tied at 2, and
came across the blue line, but the puck is right on the blue line. It never really crosses, but C.J. Young, you see on the far side, he crossed before that puck ever did, so that's why it was blown down.
3:13 left. Goals by Bureau and C.J. Young. Darcy Norton and Darren Lowe for San Diego. A 2-2 standoff. Eagles at home tomorrow night against Kansas City, and will play quite a few home games next week, February 20th, 22nd, and 23rd. The 20th and 22nd against Muskegon, and then a week from Saturday at home against the same San Diego Gulls hockey team. Here's the puck loose back of the goal with just over 3 minutes left in this game. A 2-2 tie. And the Gulls break out of there in the center, and San Diego's Sullivan able to work it free. Tries to smack it up on the far wing, and it actually deflects up into the stands. A stoppage of play. We see the far side here in San Diego. Of course, the Booster Club members in attendance here tonight, some 40 strong.
Well, you know, Mike, here's a great play. The Gulls came down on a 3-on-2 back to Sullivan. Sullivan just ripped one. C.J. Young was there to corral the rebound and worked out at the end, but Warren Sharples again stood his ground, stood up. He didn't really give Sullivan anything to shoot at.
Eagles and the Gulls are tied at 2. Eagles have played only 4 overtime games this year and have not picked up a victory. 2 of those games have actually been a shootout. We'll get into that in just a moment as it's cleared right back to center, and Sweeney has to hustle back for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. Plays up the middle for Mark Bureau. Angles in with Olsen into the San Diego zone. Olsen cuts in. Great pass in front for Sweeney. Chevrier gets the pace. Tremendous setup for Sweeney, and Chevrier, outstanding save. Gulls clear it down the ice. Lazard after it, but the save of the night here for the San Diego goaltender. A 2-2 tie here in San Diego, and we'll be back in just a moment for the exciting finish.
What's that cool going down? What's that chill rushing through you? What's that takes your breath away? That's the taste of real refreshment. That's the real love That's the taste of real refreshment. Just for the taste of Diet Coke.
2:22 left, third period, a 2-2 standoff. The face-off will be deep into the San Diego zone, but a tremendous save by Chevrier.
As we pick it up, Mark Bureau dumps it to Darrell Olsen. Darrell Olsen, out of the corner of his eye, sees Tim Sweeney breaking towards the net, feathers the pass over to him, but Chevrier was right there to keep the score deadlocked at 2, Mike. And what great action we've seen so far tonight.
Eagles in one-goal games this year have a mark of 6-4-4. They've played pretty good when it gets down to crunch time. First, we'll go to a shootout if the game was tied after a 5-minute sudden death overtime. Puck is loose on the right side. Duguay plays for San Diego. Wings to center, and then it's chopped right back into the Salt Lake zone. The forward Simmer able to backhand it behind the net with just over 2 minutes left. We're tied at 2. And the Eagles cruise, able to work to center. Simmer knocks him off the puck. Beasley after it also. Scissored at the blue line and then works in. He shoots. Chevrier the save, and the bouncing rebound controlled by San Diego. And the Gulls play it into the Salt Lake zone. A chance for San Diego in front of the goal. McInnes, the shot blocked off by Melrose. Now play into the side of the Salt Lake goal. Cruz able to bounce it off the backboards and leads out of there with 1:40 left in this game. Cruz hit hard by McInnes, and in across the line is the forward Floyd. Angles up, surveys the traffic, then drives it. And a blocker saves Sharples. It deflects into the corner, and Harkins has no other choice but to ice the puck because the Eagles were in a defensive situation. Back after Coral, and icing is called with 1:21 left. Harkins didn't want to try the breakout pass. He felt at this point better to clear the zone and get reorganized in the defensive territory.
Well, part of the reason of that is, Mike, this is a sport unlike others. They don't have the luxury of having a whole bunch of timeouts. When people get tired, they either need a whistle or to be able to change on the fly. The puck was deep in the Eagles' end. They felt there was a little bit of pressure. They were tired. They wanted to get a change, so Harkins threw it down the ice, got the whistle, was able to make the change. We got a fresh line out here now, and they're going to start again.
Key face-off for Mark Bureau. Does he want to win it back or win it to the side?
He's going to try and definitely win it back so Rick Lazard has some time to get around the net and make a breakout.
Eagles, Bureau unable to win the draw. It's a backhand on the right side for Floyd, but the Eagles break out of there in the center. Bureau left wing for Chernamaz, trying to drop it free, but Coral after the whole play whistled on offside with just over a minute left now. 1:09 to be exact. A 2-2 tie is Chernamaz, Martinson, Samard, Coral. They're all having some words, but with just over a minute left, I don't think you'll see much more than idle discussion.
Both teams very cautious. They don't want to step over the line and put their team in a shorthanded situation there. Martinson was with Chernamaz, who really, Rich Chernamaz gives up a lot of height and weight to him, and you could see the bigger players from Salt Lake coming in to protect their captain.
Mark Bureau, who is, as mentioned earlier, involved in both scoring plays for Salt Lake. If the game is tied, and as we mentioned, a 5-minute sudden death overtime, if they're still tied, they have a sudden death shootout where they actually have penalty shots to decide the outcome.
That's the one thing about hockey at this level, Mike. Nobody leaves the building until there's a winner.
Face off in the neutral zone just outside the blue line, a 2-2 tie. Eagles looking for win number 31, and with a victory will maintain their 7-point lead over Phoenix, with the Roadrunners defeating Kansas City tonight. Here is the defenseman for San Diego, Bannister, able to work against Sweeney and then able to toss it up the left wing side. Here is the forward Sullivan trying to jam it free. The third plays to center. Nichols for San Diego pokes it in. Under a minute to go in the game, a 2-2 tie. And Lessard able to rim it on the boards on left wing, and Bureau plays for the Golden Eagles. Shovels for Simard into center. Here's Nichols on right wing. Uman able to control the pass, and Bureau just flings it right back in. 40 seconds left in the third period. Here's Bureau unable to control it, and finally it squirts to center where Grant on the backhand plays it right back in as the defenseman Bannister hustles back for San Diego. 30 seconds left in regulation time. A 2-2 tie. Here's Lessard on left wing, able to poke it right back to the blue line. Sullivan steals, but covering up is Lessard at his own defense. Right side, Simard, blocked off by Tour. Simard trying to leave it for Chernomaz, who just bangs it right back in. 13 seconds left in regulation time. We may be headed for overtime. Here is the pass ahead to center. Nichols for Duguay. 4 seconds left. Duguay poke check, and that's going to do it. The buzzer sounds, signaling the end of the third period. And Randy Bucyk, we're going to overtime. A 2-2 tie through a total of 60 minutes as we have pushing and shoving in the San Diego zone.
Well, a little bit of frustrations going there. Paul Cruz, who is a very physical player for the Golden Eagles, just mucking it up a little bit. I don't think anything really is going to come out of this.
And we will go to an overtime. Randy Bucyk will come back with the overtime from San Diego. A 2-2 tie. We'll be back in just a moment.
With Hardee's Family Value Menu, Mom and Dad can feed themselves and their 4 kids for under $10. Dad can feed himself and his son's basketball team for under $10. Mom can feed herself for 3 kids, a neighbor's kid, and a kid she doesn't even know for under $10. Hardee's Family Value Menu is designed for families who want a lot of delicious food for not a lot of money. Like hamburgers for 59 cents, cheeseburgers for 69 cents, and hot dogs for 79 cents. Hardee's Family Value Menu, the return of good old family values.
Are you going to eat that lunch fry?
Kiesel Sales would like to help you with your gift-giving ideas. Choose from our large selection of Zenith televisions, video recorders, and camcorders. Kiesel Sales also has the finest selection of home appliances featuring Maytag, Amana, Hotpoint, and Genair. Kiesel Sales can help make your purchase easier with 90-day interest-free financing, layaway, and free next-day delivery. Kiesel Sales, 3109 Washington Boulevard, Ogden.
We are in San Diego, California. The Eagles and the San Diego Gulls. The Eagles have not won a game this year in overtime. They are 0-4, 0-2 in overtime games, and 0-2 in shootouts, so they're looking for their first overtime win of the year.
Well, they played very well throughout this whole game. I thought they looked a little bit tired towards the end. Probably partially due to the fact that they had to kill a lot of penalties throughout this game. San Diego, of course, due to their schedule, is showing a little bit of fatigue too, but nonetheless, both teams have really put their heart and soul into this game, and sadly enough, someone is going to have to lose this game, but both teams have played well up until this point.
San Diego, in a combined overtime and shootout record, 3-5. They picked up 1 victory in a shootout. The game here, of course, is tied to the tune of 2. Eagles' last overtime or shootout game, January 25th. They lost 5-4 in a shootout in Kalamazoo. But this is always thrilling, Randy, because when the goal is scored, that's it. We're going to go down to ice level with Mike Runge here at the San Diego Sports Arena.
Well, after 60 minutes of play, here I am. I'm supposed to be doing my post-game interview, and what happened? We got to go back for more hockey. Yeah, it's overtime here in San Diego, the San Diego Sports Arena. We're having a good time in San Diego. Wish you were here with us. Get back to the action. Mike Barrick, take it.
Boy, it's a fun, Randy. The game is tied at 2. The Eagles holding to a 2-0 lead. The Gulls coming back to make it interesting with 2 third-period tallies, and that's why we are tied through 60.
Not a very big crowd here tonight, Mike, but they are very boisterous. They've got their team going. The Gulls came back from a deficit, seem to have a little bit of momentum going for them, but the Eagles have had a lot of great scoring chances. If not for Alain Chevrier, they could very well have won this game in regulation.
Well, the Eagles looking for their first overtime or shootout win of the year as the Gulls break it free on the left wing side. A chance for Floyd. His shot to Sharples gets a piece of that. And Chernomaz plays for the Golden Eagles. Rims it to the right of the net where Grant plays on the right side for Kerry Clark. Into center ice, Clark rumbles to center. He is tied up, and the puck is cleared on the right wing side in a stoppage of play. Shots on goal, third period, 10-9 in favor of Salt Lake. The shots on goal through 60 minutes, 32 for San Diego and 26 for Salt Lake. So Warren Sharple, 30 saves in regulation time, so an outstanding job at the Salt Lake netminder, although it's tied at 2.
Well, he's got to be happy with his performance, the way he's played tonight. It's been since last Friday since he's been able to get a game in, but he really has played superb in the last 5 starts that he's gotten.
Eagles have Mark Bureau flanked by Tim Sweeney and Martin Samar. Bureau, 2 points in the night. And the Gulls have the line with Sullivan up front for San Diego. Sullivan's the key on the San Diego line to play a defensive role against Mark Bureau. Here's Olsen in the center. Shoots it right back into the Gulls territory. Robbie Nichols and Rod Dahlman, the other forwards, so a checking line for the goal. Here's Coral, tries to flick it free. Bureau after it. Right wing point for Bucyk. Cuts in. Tries to center one, but Coral breaks it up on the left wing side with just over 4 minutes left in the overtime. A 2-2 tie. Robbie Nichols on the right side trying to feed it for Dahlman, but Salt Lake on the attack into center. Bucyk swivels into the San Diego zone, pops it off the backboard, and controlling the puck for San Diego is Dave Coral, the defenseman on the right side for the former Phoenix Roadrunner, Robbie Nichols. Shoots it free into the Salt Lake territory. The rookie Sullivan hit by Rick Lessard, and the whole play is whistled down on the near wing with the 3:42 left in the overtime, and the San Diego player shaken up to the near wing.
Well,
appears to be Sullivan.
Rick Lessard, who is a big burly player for the Golden Eagles, he comes in and he tips the scale quite a weight. And when he takes a player into the boards, the player really feels that Sullivan is obviously hurt. We're not sure where, but the trainer's out looking at him now.
Eagles and the Gulls tied at 2 here at the Sports Arena in San Diego. We'll be back for continuation of the overtime in just a moment.
Can you tell which of these fireplaces have wood fires and which have natural gas fireplace logs? It isn't easy, because today's natural gas logs look so real, most people can't tell the difference. Natural gas logs turn on and off instantly, don't pollute, come in lots of styles and sizes, last for years, and cost about half as much to use. So which of these fireplaces have the natural gas logs? They all do. Call this toll-free number today and get the natural gas advantage.
5-4. The face-off will be deep into the Salt Lake zone. 3:42 left in the overtime as Sullivan getting up slowly, attended to by the trainer Larry Roberts, Bob Francis, and Jamie Hislop survey the situation, check out their line combinations, but Sullivan was really hit by Rick Lessard and is limping towards the San Diego dressing room.
Well, that little limp there, Mike, might tip us off. Probably maybe a Charlie horse or a hip flexor. Hopefully not something serious, particularly to his knees.
Well, Randy, you're familiar with injuries here in this building. You're sitting up here in the broadcast booth tonight, and you suffered your knee injury right here earlier this season in San Diego.
Well, unfortunately, I did, Mike, and that was back in November, and I haven't been able to come back. It turned into be quite a serious thing, and I had to get a knee operation out of the whole thing, but it looks like he's not in too much pain here. We're getting a little bit of help into the dressing room, but hopefully just a little bit of a bruise. Some ice will fix that up.
3:42 left in overtime. We're back to action at 2-2 tie. And the lead pass to center off the mark in San Diego's Darren Bannister. Able to play it in the center. Teasley breaks it up, and then Simmer for the goals. Able to play it for Duguay in the center. Wrapped around by Grant. The start after it also. Duguay knocked down. The fans looking for a penalty, but Cassidy watches it go by. Now Grant on right wing, able to play it between the two San Diego defenders on net, and Chevrolet plays it for Al Tour behind the goal. Here is Darcy Norton on right wing for San Diego, able to play it for Duguay into center, and he shoots it into the Salt Lake zone. It bounces on edge. Sharples leaves it for Grant. Easily after, with just over 3 minutes left in the overtime. We're tied at 2. Here is McInnes on the right side, but another San Diego player shaken up to the right of the Salt Lake goal, and it appears to be Darcy Norton, but he's skating on his own towards the San Diego players bench. As Darcy Norton has mentioned earlier, a couple of years with the Minnesota North Stars organization in Kalamazoo, a pretty good goal scorer for the youngster. 39 goals his rookie year, 22 last season, and skating on his own into the San Diego zone.
Well, he's got quite a bit of a limp going right now, Mike. He's just trying to skate out the little knot or bruise that he sustained. I think he got it when he went into forecheck. He went to hit the Salt Lake defender into the boards, and he missed him and really crushed himself in there.
Eagles and the San Diego Gulls tomorrow night at the Salt Palace. Salt Lake against Kansas City, 7 p.m. at the Salt Palace. San Diego control with under 3 minutes left in the overtime. We're tied at 2 as Melrose sets it up for C.J. Young. Spins to center into the Gulls territory. Right side for Chernomaz. His shot off the side of the goal as the Chevrolet plays it on the left wing side for the former Golden Eagle, Steve Martinson, in his center. Former member of the Montreal Canadiens. The Martinson moves in. Find a center one, but C.J. Young back checks and able to intercept the pass. Lugs the pass ahead for Chernomaz into the San Diego zone. Shoots it towards the goal, and the goaltender Chevrolet pounces on top and holds on. Randy, we talked about line changes earlier, and how quickly do the teams change lines, particularly in overtime?
Well, usually a shift would last somewhere in the neighborhood between 35 to 45 seconds. That's, of course, if a player is going at full speed. It's such a fast game, Mike, that, you know, you really tire out quite quickly if you're going at full pace. Sometimes on the power play, when the play is in somebody's zone, there's not really a lot of skating involved. Your shifts tend to be a little longer, somewhere in the minute to a minute and a half range.
From a strategic standpoint, does Bob Francis want to change lines quickly here in overtime, or keep a guy like Bureau and Samard and Sweeney, keep this line out a little bit longer?
Well, I think he wants to slow things down a little bit, give his top line. He wants to keep his top line on the ice as much as possible, especially in this last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Each team does, of course, have one 30-second timeout. And depending on when they use that, probably towards the very end of this overtime if no one's scored yet.
Duguay will drop against Bureau. Sullivan is taken most of the draw tonight against Mark Bureau, but with Sullivan back in the dressing room, Duguay takes the draw. Now on the right side, Gulls that try and work it free to center, but the Eagles' Olsen has to circle back. Leaves it for Samard at center, a hustling Bureau into the goal zone, trying to maneuver in. Chevrier pounces on top as Bureau was stationing himself towards that goal, and Chevrier wisely holds on with 2:09 left in the overtime, a 2-2 tie.
Well, now there was a case, Mike, of where the Eagles shot it deep into the goal zone from their side of the red line. It would have been an icing penalty had the Gulls got back to touch the puck first, but Mark Bureau, being onside, was able to race in behind the Gulls defender, touch the puck first, nullifying the offside icing call.
Eagles will try and set up a play here with 2:09 left in the overtime. If the Eagles are able to pot a goal, that would be it. Salt Lake would come up with win number 31. Here is Samard now being tied up into the corner. Holds on to the puck, tries to shovel it for Tim Sweeney. Sweeney now kicks it free, gets away from Nichols. Right point for Olsen. His shot blocked off the defense, and the rebound taken by Coral. And Robbie Nichols for San Diego plays to center. Under 2 minutes left in the overtime. A 2-2 standoff. And whirling around in his own defense is the Calgary native, Daryl Olsen. Ahead for Rick Lassard, who bounces it off the board into the goal zone. Here's Coral ahead for Duguay on left wing. Into the Salt Lake zone, the former Peoria Riverman, Rod Dolman, over skates. Eagles play up, but Dolman steals, and Lassard beautifully pokes it outside the blue line, and Dolman has no other choice but to shoot it to the Salt Lake defense. Here's Lassard. Pokes it ahead for Paul Cruz into the goal zone. He's poke checked, and San Diego whirled to center, but it's off the mark, and Melrose able to play it for Deasley. A lot of turnovers and open ice. 1:13 left in the overtime. We're tied at 2. Sharples himself plays for Kevin Grant behind his own cage, eludes Dahlman, and then able to feed for Todd Harkins. Floyd steals for Dahlman. Puck is loose on the far side with under a minute left in the overtime. We're tied at 2. San Diego is on the far side. Harkins for Salt Lake trying to work it free, and Floyd just lashes it right back off the boards behind the goal. 50 seconds left in overtime. There's Cruz on left wing. Able to play it rink wide for Deasley into the San Diego zone. Deasley around to her and a goal. Chevrier gets a piece. It's loose. He falls on top. Ryan Deasley with a great end-to-end rush. But Chevrier pounces on top with the game on the line.
Well, when you have a player like Al Tour out there, he's very cagey. He knows exactly when to pinch and when to stay back. He really forced Brian Deasley into a bad angle there, and Chevrier just went down, covered all the net possible. The puck came sliding into him, and he froze it.
And
as we see Deasley coming down the far boards here, Al Tour has a good position on him. Beasley has trouble cutting in. He's trying to lean on Tour to get a better position, but just no possible way. Chevrolet, seeing that Beasley can't lift the puck in the air, just lays down and lets the puck come sliding into him, and he holds onto it for a whistle.
Brian Beasley close to scoring his 20th goal of the season. He scored 16 in his rookie year last year for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles out of the University of Michigan. 36 seconds left. If we're still tied when the 36 seconds expire, we will go to a shootout, and what a fitting end to the broadcast here tonight.
Well, it would be it's put in for the excitement of the crowd, and they're being treated to a great game here tonight, Mike.
Here is Duguay, tries to work in, but Chernomaz steals at his own defense. Duguay plays for San Diego, ahead for Martinson, but back-checking is Marco Bucyk, and he's able to wheel out of there. Watched by Duguay, ahead for Young at center. 18 seconds left. In the overtime, Young moving in, but it's offside, I believe, on the far wing, as we have only 16 seconds left. I believe the referee, Cassidy, blew that down, and Bob Francis very upset. Steve Gannett also with the referee.
Well, I think that David Cassidy thought that his linesmen weren't in position to make the call. He was standing right on the blue line, and as you mentioned before, Mike has done a lot of games as a linesman, so he was right there, and he blew the offsides down himself.
I think Bob Francis and Jamie Hislop feel it's the responsibility of the linesman to make that call. Cassidy blowing the whistle. Nonetheless, the face-off will be just outside the blue line with only 16 seconds left in overtime. The line of Bureau, Chernomaz, and Sweeney now on the defense of Marco Bucyk and Rick Lessard is a very tired group of Golden Eagle players. Randy Bucyk, I'm sure the same for San Diego. Here is the Eagle player on left wing, Rick Lessard. Has to spin back at center and shoots it deep into the San Diego zone. 10 seconds left in the overtime. Eagles trying to work it free. San Diego played on the boards. 4 seconds left, and they freeze it. So we'll have a face-off deep into the San Diego zone, and if they are still tied, Randy, we'll end this thing with the shootout.
Well, it appears right now, Mike, that it is going to go into a shootout. It might be a good time for us to just explain exactly what's going to happen here. Each team is going to be allowed to pick 5 players to go down on the opposite goalie, picked by the coach, probably his top goal scorers or the ones that are the shiftiest, and it'll be a best of 5 for each team. So whoever scores the most goals after the 5 shooters are up will win the game.
Interestingly enough, the Eagles have lost 2 shootout games and have not scored a shootout goal. So we'll see if the Eagles can break that here tonight. 4 seconds left in the overtime period. Face-off will be just inside the blue line to the left of Chevrolet in San Diego, with the Mike O'Connell have called a timeout. We've had a long game here tonight for Randy Bucyk. It's gone along very slowly here tonight in San Diego. A lot of stoppages, good goaltending here tonight, some activities during the intermission, and it's been a very, very interesting game.
Well, I don't think it's dragged on, but it has been a long game, partially due, Mike, to a lot of the penalties that were whistled down, and the goaltenders having to make some great saves, and they've been able to control the rebounds and pounce on them, stopping the play quite a bit throughout this game, too.
Bob Francis having some words for the Eagle players, Mike O'Connell, as well with the San Diego team, Ron Duguay at the San Diego bench. The Eagles having 1 timeout remaining, but with only 4 seconds left, I don't think they'll have a chance to use it. The Gulls, Mike O'Connell calls the timeout here. Bob Francis setting his team up. It is in the San Diego defensive zone, so with 4 seconds left, there is the opportunity for Salt Lake to set up a play here with only 4 seconds left.
Well, ideally, the Eagles would have liked to have had this face-off deep inside the Gulls zone, but the stoppage of play was up near the blue line, and that's exactly where the linesman is going to be dropping the puck.
But it is still in the San Diego territory, inside that blue line, so they can still set it up, but not as easy had the face-off been in the circle to the left of Chevrier, but only 4 seconds left, and Mark Bureau will draw up against Ron Duguay in the San Diego territory. Sweeney, Lessard, and Chernomaz lined up in a straight line right there at the blue line.
Now the centerman is for the Gulls is so close to the blue line, he might just try to shovel that puck ahead outside of the blue line, which would nullify any kind of scoring chance the Eagles could get.
Robbie Nichols will draw up now as Duguay has been tossed out of the face-off area. Osikia's shot blocked off by McKinnis, and that's it. We will go to a shootout. We have played 65 minutes, and we're still tied at 2, but we have a little bit more here in the center ice area. Robbie Nichols, Rich Chernomaz, Rod Dahlman, Mark Bureau. As the teams have battled through 65 minutes, they're still tied. They battled 60 minutes last night, and they're very, very feisty here in San Diego, and things getting a little more heated in San Diego.
Well, Robbie Nichols is really a thorn in the Eagles' side, has been all night, and has been not only this year, but when he played for the Phoenix Roadrunners. And he's really a pester. He really gets under your skin, and he does a good job at it. He draws a lot of penalties on himself, and puts his team in a power play situation quite a bit.
So we have a little bit more here as everybody into the fracas. Ron Duguay's on top of the pile. A lot of red, white, and gold of the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. Duguay and Dean Morton, the defenseman, over a couple of sprawling Salt Lake players. It really started with Chernomaz and Robbie Nichols and has gone from there. And now on the far wing, Mark Bureau and the player Rod Dahlman involved in a little fracas.
Now, I'm not sure exactly what happens if someone gets a game misconduct. I believe, Mike, they won't be eligible to shoot in the shootout.
No, definitely not. Penalties here will not carry on for the shootout. Dahlman throws a couple of punches over the linesman. Bureau trying to fight back, and the linesman trying to separate. Boy, we've got a little bit of everything here tonight. It's pretty quiet as far as the fisticuffs are concerned, but this game, which has gone on for a while here tonight in San Diego, I think the players are frustrated as they're all still milling around in the Salt Lake zone with the game, the regulation and overtime concluding here. But Randy, they're still milling around on the far side and very intent over there as well. A lot of dancing around. What are they saying in that file?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on TV right now, Mike, to tell you the truth, but the way David Cassidy has refereed this game, he's allowed a lot of this to go on and go on and go on, and now it's starting to come to a head, and it's kind of a sad situation here, Mike. It's been such an entertaining hockey game to see it end in this kind of manner.
Warren Sharples on one knee surveys the action. Ron Duguay at the blue line. Mark Bureau escorted to the Salt Lake dressing room. I'm sure he's frustrated because he's such a dangerous player offensively. He'd love to be involved in the shootout, and San Diego having some tough players out there. They had Rob Dahlman, Robbie Nichols against the skill guys for Salt Lake, and I don't think Mike O'Connell's too upset to have a guy like Bureau off the ice.
Well, it was a very uneven soft as far as that goes. You see Mark Bureau, he's headed off into the dressing room. Presumably he won't be eligible to shoot in the shootout, which is going to be a great loss for the Eagles because normally he would be one of the players that usually leads them off in this five-man shootout. If you look at who went off with him, it'd be Rod Dahlman, and I would bet my bottom dollar that he wasn't going to be involved in the five-man shootout anyways.
Yeah, they had their tough line out late, more of a defensive line, and with a guy like Bureau off the ice, and Chernomaz probably also Randy Bucyk, because Chernomaz was involved as well, although he's skating to the near wing. We'll see if he stays on for the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. The Eagles and the Gulls tied at 2. We'll come back with the shootout in just a moment here from the Sports Arena.
Western Week, February 11th through the 15th, 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. We've got Wheel 14.
Enjoy an evening at Partners, Ogden, or Holiday. Famous for truly unique atmosphere and really good food. Partners specialize in fresh seafood and tender aged beef, featuring our own homemade recipes. We serve dollar-saving early bird specials 5 to 6:30 p.m. every Monday through Thursday. Choose from 6 of our most popular entrees, complete dinners at lunchtime prices. Enjoy the best for less at Partners, 337 31st Street in Ogden and 4668 South Holiday Boulevard, Holiday.
We're back in San Diego. We, at this point, know there have been 4 players escorted to the dressing room. Rod Dahlman, Rob McInnes, and Robbie Nichols. Mark Bureau, the only player for Salt Lake. Perhaps Rich Chernamaz will also be led to the dressing room, but not at this particular point. A 2-2 tie here through 65 minutes. The shots, by the way, 2 apiece in the overtime. 28 for Salt Lake in the game, 34 for San Diego. The Eagles and the Gulls. The Eagles led 2-0 through a total of 40 minutes, but the Gulls scored twice in the third period. The goals by Darcy Norton and Darren Lowe to tie the game. The Eagles had that lead through 40, but then San Diego came back in the final stanza.
Well, San Diego showed a lot of grit and determination by being able to claw and fight their way back into this hockey game. A couple of great goals in this third period to tie the score at 2. A lot of great action. Warren Sharples was outstanding again in the third period, or else they could have very easily have lost this game too. The first goal by Darcy Norton on a great setup by Ron Duguay. Norton has a step on the defenseman, comes in around, sees Sharples going down and slides it just inside the goalpost on the far side. Sharples had good position, did his best to make the save, but Norton just slid it past him. A good scoring play by Darcy Norton. On the second goal, Darren Lowe, it was all set up by Dave Corral up at the blue line, jumped in to prevent the puck from squirting outside the blue line, so he was the one that really initiated this whole goal from happening. Corral knocks it down deep to Larry Floyd. Larry Floyd sees Darren Lowe out in front, throws it out to Lowe, and Lowe just shovels it in the net behind Warren Sharples. Another great scoring goal by the Gulls.
All alone in front of the net, and that tied the game. The penalty all at the 5-minute mark in overtime. Rod Dahlman for San Diego, a 5-minute fighting major and a 10-minute misconduct. Rob McInnes, a 10-minute misconduct, and Robbie Nichols, a 10-minute misconduct for San Diego. The only Eagles off the ice, Mark Bureau, 5 for fighting and a 10-minute misconduct. Rick Lessard, a 10-minute misconduct. So again, those are the players off for the Eagles and the Gulls. We go to the shootout. The Gulls, 1 shootout game. They beat Kansas City. Salt Lake 0-2 in shootout games and have not scored a shootout goal all season long. But a guy that had 97 points last year for the Golden Eagles was the American-born Rookie of the Year in the IHL last season, Tim Sweeney, and he will be the first shooter for Salt Lake.
Tim Sweeney has a lot of great moves, but they had a shootout situation in the Goodwill games, and he came down, and actually Warren Sharples was playing for the Canadian team, and he went between his legs with his shot. So Tim Sweeney, that might be one of the first places he looks when he goes down to shoot.
And here is Sweeney now for the Golden Eagles. It's a penalty shot. All the players off the ice. Sweeney in on goal. He shoots. He scores. Tim Sweeney goes upstairs, left side. 1-0 Eagles here in the shootout.
Well, what a great shot by Tim Sweeney. Chevrolet came way out to cut down the angle, started backing into his net. Sweeney has his head up the whole time, spots an open corner high over the glove, and makes no mistake by throwing it up, and the Eagles are now up 1-0 in this shootout.
Larry Floyd, the leading point scorer for San Diego, is the shooter for the Gulls. In on net, he stops, he shoots, Sharples, a glove save.
Great save by Warren Sharples. Boy, he stood his ground there. Larry Floyd, a sniper in this league. Give him a couple of shootout chances, and he's going to score on most of them, but Warren Sharples was just outstanding. What a quick glove he has.
Warren Sharples' first shootout this year. Steve Gannett was in the nets the other 2 shootout games. Here's Rich Chernamaz. 48 goals a couple of years ago, 101 points. Chernamaz in on net. He stops, he shoots, he scores! Rich Chernamaz makes it 2-0 here in the best of 5, and that puts San Diego in quite a hole as Chernamaz rifles it behind Chevrier.
Well, how about that, Mike? What a great shot by Rich Chernamaz. He's got an unbelievable wrist shot, quite quick release and deadly accurate. He made no mistake, put it on the blocker side of Alain Chevrier, and the Eagles are up by 2 now.
Darcy Norton, who scored the first goal for San Diego.